Welcome back, everyone, to DBDLeague and another Scrim Night. And it's not just one normal Scrim Night, it is the low-tier killer Scrim Night. We will talk about that in a second, but we heard your wishes, we heard your feedback, you wanted low-tier killers. Here they are, your low-tier killers are going to approach you, maybe not only in the stream, but also in the nightmares. We'll see about that later. Though, let me introduce my fellow casting partner for the evening. It's the one and only DBDL brown-haired demon, our community manager, Savannah. Welcome!
Thank you for the brown head demon. That was very nice. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. I'm so glad to finally come back to the casting desk. I didn't really feel comfortable to do that for a while, but now after Chad has been so nice and so sweet to me, I decided that now it's time to come back. So, if Dyer, can I introduce our killers tonight, if you don't mind?
I will go with the teacher quote. I don't know if you can, but you may.
Okay, that's very good. So today we're having 5 sets, as always. For those who doesn't know, it doesn't matter if a team is taking the first 3 points. We will play all 5 sets regardless. And the set number 1 will be Onryo. Onryo is actually something very interesting for me because I have seen a few, let's say, people always say that Onryo is strong, but for example, when I'm playing against her in pubs, sometimes she's not so strong. But it's not about the pubs, right? It's about comp. So the question to you, what do you think? Will Onryo be looking like a pub Onryo here? Or you think we will be getting closer to a comp Onryo, which is something that can even end up as 4K3? Do you think it's possible?
I mean, you would hope that it's possible, but realistically spoken, I don't think this should happen, at least to the extent where we are seeing a 4K, because when we are talking about the public games, and I think that is a good reference actually, because this is where the low tier killers are played at the moment. They are not really dragged into comp setting anymore. So we have to kind of come from the pub experience. If you're looking on the Onryos, they are looking weak, even if you have 1 or 2 randoms in your team and the communication is already looking difficult. Of course, in pub games, you have the chance to stack your off the record, your decisive strikes, which she's really struggling with. We are not having this today, but on the other hand, we are having brutal efficiency on the survivor side, or we should at least have brutal efficiency. We have a well communicating survivor team. And I do think all of the killers today, I will make a wide claim, all of the killers should face outing survivors today. There shouldn't be any 4Ks. It just shouldn't happen, even with the balancing. If it does happen, then it's usually on the mistake of the survivors, right? So if we're talking about the Onryo, for example, the only 2 scenarios I can imagine where she would really start to shine is 1, you are unaware that she's teleporting right next to you and you're taking an injury or even a down without making the necessary distance first. Or 2nd, you are not efficient and you have already dropped all the pallets and the generator progress is like the typical Claudette on swamp sitting in the corner of the map, crouching and touching a generator after 7 minutes. These are the 2 scenarios where the Onryo would shine to me. Are you a little bit more optimistic maybe towards the killers that we're facing today?
Well, to go a little bit deeper into it, let's talk about the balancing for Onryo that we picked for today. So, based on the fact that Onryo on indoor maps can be really strong if teams do not know what they're doing, or if they haven't practiced against Onryo ever. And it can always end up as 4K2 or 3 stages type, so it can really vary from the absolute bottom to an absolute top. So an indoor map was a big no-no for us. We didn't know what to expect from our community nights teams, even though it's Valentines and Chimera, two teams that already played, and they were pretty good. Yeah, they were pretty strong. They showed an absolute excellent performance, I would even say. So we decided that Onryo will be played out of chases, which is Call Tower 1. Yes, yes. We will be playing Onryo on Call Tower 1. We will be using general balance plus tier 4 balancing. For those who are going to shout at me that Onryo is not tier 4 at all, please let me be. I talked through it with Laser. He said I was good. And we will have two band add-ins. It is distorted photo and tape editing deck. This will be two band add-ins for Onryo. I don't know how it will end up. I can imagine, since it's not indoor map and we are almost getting rid of everything that you mentioned about this moment of something that you didn't expect, right? We're getting rid of it. So here Onryo will be played through the chases, and this is something that I would really like to see. I don't know how it will end. I will not predict because I'm very bad at predictions. I will actually make a prediction in chat, but I will not predict anything about Onryo. But we're already stretching so much this campfire. Let's go through other killers, please, please, please. So Legion, what do you think about Legion Direwolf?
Legion is giving me pretty deep wounds when talking about him. I mean, Legion is a fun killer. Let's say that. The last time we had the last thing I remember from Legion in DBDL is Cynic cooking with no mither on the Dead Dog Saloon. And they were successful with that. They pulled an individual strategy and they were really, really strong, showing us that if you have an idea against the Legion and if you are aware that you are going to play against a lot of injuries, you are going to play against a lot of potential one taps, basically, as you are certainly not going to heal against Legion. It would take way too much time. It's a little bit like a plague set later on, right? Like on the plague set, you have everyone broken and you need to be really careful that you're not handing out an instant down. And on Legion, you are staying injured voluntarily to not waste time. And then you're basically like, it's all about being careful. And I think this is what makes these low tier killers very interesting, because it's an easy way to look at Legion and to look at Onryo, even Baba. I will already touch set 3 because we will load in soon. When you look at these killers, they are weak, but it's too easy to say, yeah, they are weak and they will get outed anyway. The moment they start shining is when the survivor teams are making mistakes, and it's all about playing careful tonight. Not getting ahead of yourself, not coming in with too much confidence, realizing that the mechanical mind games need to be on point today. Take as much time away from the killer as possible. So yeah, that's my claim on it.
Okay, I can see that. What I would also like to quickly add about Legion, it's very interesting to see because it will be, am I right? It will be the first Legion game that we have here not in season 9, not only in season 9, but also in community nights. No one before picked Legion. Am I right?
No, nobody. Legion is not left.
Yeah. I wonder why. But yeah, it will be very interesting set. Now let's go to my favorite set, Baba. But before, we need to answer the question from the chat. And Sinister Fox 666, have never heard that, asked us, how are you two doing? So, Direwolf, how are you doing?
I'm
Bad.
doing bad. I'm doing bad because I corrected the exams of my high-level German literature course today, and I'm disappointed in what I'm reading. It was a painful afternoon. It was a waste of. Okay, it's not. It's not that bad.
Okay.
But I'm doing good actually. I'm in the luxury position that I can sit here with my partner, enjoying some DBDL casting over it. So it couldn't be better. How are you, Savannah?
I'm all right. Yeah, I think I'm all right, even though I'm a little bit nervous about casting. But I think I'll be good. So, um, let's quickly go through because our teams are already waiting for us. They're already in the lobby. Let's not stretch it through. So, Baba. I love Baba. I'm
I love
excited for
Mathis.
Baba. Okay, you know
It's
what?
basically Mathis. Mathis is Baba.
Baba will be played on a new map, by the way, guys. It will be at Thompson House. Finally, we're getting some cold wind. I waited for this moment for so long when cold wind will be at least shortly back into comp, and now it's back. And Baba will be played with General Balance plus tier 3. That's right. I think it's pretty logical. What do you think?
I love the fact that he's put on Thompson House because not only for the balancing reasons, I really enjoyed T House. You have this wide map where the survivors can spread. On the other hand, you have difficult corners. So I agree on that. And for the feeling, like T House is actually pretty close to what we see in the movie. And I always love when we are seeing that. That's what I would also always love if Freddy, for example, on the bad and preschool. I think we can load in. Our producers asking us. Freddy and Pig is something we are going to touch in the upcoming break. Though I think playing Freddy on a big tournament stage like this must be such a nightmare, right?
I don't know. I'm so afraid to say yes, and I'm so afraid to say no because then I will regret it. But if I have to, then I would say yes. So on the background, we're taking care of a live score sheet, so you guys can have a better time watching our streams.
You know what I just realized, Savannah?
No, I don't.
Killer 5 of today is a very weird pick from our balancing team.
All right. Wow. I don't know what to say. Usually I'm telling people in chat to wait, I'll tell that.
There was 3 bad jokes in one campfire chat. I just reached my high score.
That's right. So we're loading in on the background. That's good news. Now let's go to the bad news. We have 5 sets to cast. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I love that. 5 sets. I mean, set 5 is always hard. I feel like a best of 4 is actually the best. Sometimes I feel like the players are getting tired in set 5 as well. Best of 4 would be perfect. Unfortunately, that doesn't work because we need an odd number. Best of 3 is sometimes over too quickly. I don't like best of 3s that much, especially when you always have only 2. Let's see what they are bringing us, though. We have Kobe on the killer side, Alex, Very Person, Oni Shrek, and GG Pond or JJ Pond on the survivors. Kobe is trying to go for the first survivor, not finding anyone just yet.
That's right. We also have a few questions from the chat that I would like to quickly. Oh my god! Sable is wearing cosmetics. I love that so much. Did you see that? Today, guys, who didn't know, today Sable got new cosmetic set, and I was really hyped to see it, and now I finally saw it here on stream with you, and this is fire. I love it so much. But okay, let's answer some questions from the chat. Are Eternal and Elysium out? What's these two teams? Elysium and Eternal are commonly taken as two top teams in competitive environment, and no, they are not out. They are in playoffs together with Calamity and Ariandel, and they will be playing on Saturday at 6 p.m. CET. So please come, please watch. I think you will like it.
Yeah, we're in a different tournament setting right now. Basically, what you're watching is our scouting arena, basically, for potentially new participants in upcoming tournaments. The main show with delay is happening on the weekend. Very Person and Oni Shrek with the two quick entries here at the start, and that was what we were talking about. Being careful against the Onryo because she shouldn't be able to take it down, especially not that soon into the trial, and not at the shag as well. A reset coming out onto Oni Shrek right after the first generating. Good decision making here by the team, because now you want to make sure that the second down will be much more delayed in order to go for the generators and get a little bit of progress in. Kobe is trying to go for the next survivor, is taking the stun here by Oni Shrek, meaning that Oni Shrek is taking some distance. We are going over towards the TV. Some survivors still being around in the first the first tunnel out being very successful so far. Second hook stage will come out onto Very Person. We like what we see when we are turking in terms of the killer here.
That's right. I would also like to point out that our survivors are doing a pretty good job at first hiding, and at second we have some gen pressure. Even though one survivor is constantly being tunneled out, we still have people on the gens. Clouded here has at about 20%. Tap here had, 40, 45, yeah. Well, now it will be Eruption will be put on it, but I still think that our survivors are doing pretty well. Yeah. Imagine if that would have been a hit.
Yeah, that was very ambitious. They're trying to give JJ Pond an absolute massive hit there through the window. Luckily for the survivor, that's not going to connect as it should. Alex still being injured, so there's a little bit of a potential. I do believe, though, that Kobe would much rather prefer to have Very Person in chase again, as this would allow you to take the first elimination here. We are taking another teleport, going for a little bit of the condemned stacks. Keep in mind, everyone, these survivors need to go for the tapes, otherwise once you're hooked you're not able to lose the condemned stacks any longer. At least 3 of them will come out forever onto you. Alex is going to take the mind games here, does get even a little bit of support from Oni Shrek. Now the survivors wonderfully splitting up, allowing the killer to not go for a snowball, though Oni Shrek is going down on this TNL. We still have 4 gens, Savannah. That's a little bit worrying.
That is very pressuring, I would also like to point out. Someone said, could casters please discuss the abilities of Onryo? Sure. Even though sometimes I do not understand her myself, but I think I can explain. So at first, Onryo has 2 effects. Yeah, she can manifest and she can demanifest. When she is demanifest, it grants her the undetectable status effect. Also fully invisible to survivors. So basically, when they are farther than, I think, 20 or 25 meters away from her, survivors cannot see her, but I think you already know that. Let's talk about Condemned, because they have changed the Condemned ability of Onryo. When you're interacting with anything that connected to her power, for example, when she manifests, when she's teleporting, when you're picking up the tape, the first time being hooked, it locks in all the current condemned stacks, up to 3. So basically, you see this little, I think we don't see it here, we will see it on the survivor screen. If our producer could quickly change to survivor to show. Yeah, see? There you can see some little white stacks, and when survivor is hooked, it's being locked up to 3, leaving 4 minimum empty. That's basically how it works. When you're condemned, when you have at least 2 or 3 and you're not hooked yet, you need to be very, very fast on doing your tape. Otherwise, it will be forever locked in. And I think it's forever, right? I think it's forever.
Yeah,
and
when you're hooked, right.
yeah, it's forever locked in, and then you will not be able to get rid of it anymore, which will lead to you being condemned, fully condemned pretty fast, which you would like to avoid, because here in competitive environment, I feel like our killers take advantage of it, and gladly more you.
And here we'll also get all the stages and the fresh hook. That's important to mention as well. Everything that is earned through the power or perks like Devour, Hope, Rancor is always counting as the full elimination with all the stages. Survivor team, unfortunately, having Alex on the hook now, JJ Pond going down as well. The 2 other survivors are on top of that injured. So Onryo against my analyze earlier what should happen, presenting herself as an absolute dominant factor here on the Coal Tower. It is really great what we see at the moment. Of course, there have been some survivor mistakes. We have seen, for example, the very quick down onto the shack that shouldn't have happened. I was worried there that he goes for a swing and that is actually going to connect, but luckily not going to happen. Alex being removed from the trial now, 3 survivors standing. That usually means that the generator efficiency is almost dropping down to 0 on the survivor side, and on top of that, we cannot take so much risk anymore. We cannot go for any body blocks. We have 3 injured survivors now. The mind game's coming out expecting a double vault there, but Sable is just holding W. When in doubt, you always prefer that, but Bloodlust eventually kicking in, going for the down onto only Shrek. 6 stages already. Good news for the survivors. This is a fresh hook, so you have 2 minutes of hang time and earning a little bit of time for a reset and time to go for the generators. It's not looking good, and 3 people repairing 2 more generators is usually not what we see in Comp DBD.
Yeah. Also, right now we can spectate that our killer POV got bugged because I think our producer switched the scene right on the moment when Onryo was hooking the survivor.
Fired.
So. What? Fired, that's right.
but not midstream, after the stream. First we abuse the producer for the content.
Droll, save my mic. But okay, of course it's a joke. Now we will be watching even more Survivor POV, which is always fun to watch when it's about chases. What I wanted to comment, when you said that 3 survivors left means the efficiency of the gens repairing is dropped. Well, do you remember an endgame of Spirit, Sinners versus Zero Practice? Do you remember how 2 survivors of Sinners were trying to get their tie condition against Tritrix Spirit, and they actually got it when there were only 2 survivors standing, and it was perfect. I was watching how Tritric was playing. I was in their VC. It was so tense. But oh my god, when they got it, it was crazy to watch.
Also, quick side, I do remember, I will touch on it in a second, real quick. We have adjusted the scoreboard. Valentines is playing Killer, Chimera playing Survivor. That was mixed up. We apologize for that. I will fire myself. On the memories you just shared, I do remember it, and it was an intense match. And it also reminds me so much of what power a Survivor team can have when they are believing in making a comeback, right? And when they are trying to pull something unexpected. So far, it's the Onryo pulling unexpected things here. We're still talking about a potential 4K on 2 gens remaining. We hopefully see another generator. We hopefully even see 2 other generators. Someone is saying that I cursed them for saying we will have outs every match. I truly believe that there should be outs, and Onryo should not get a 4K here on the Coal Tower. But Kobe heard that potentially and said, I'm going to prove you wrong, because my Onryo is very special. We also see that Kobe is taking a lot of confidence out of his great gameplay so far, is even going for the stack now. A perfect timing when you're asking me. Very Person was just around, so you know that they are not working on a generator. Only Shrek is close as well. Nice teleport into the jump and the down. That was amazing to watch your next teleport coming out immediately. This Onryo is unstoppable.
that's right. I would also like to talk a bit about our survivor team. Our survivor team is a European team, and they've been practicing together, so within this team for at around 6 months now. I asked some questions from Oni Shrek, Oni. Is it Oni Snake or Shrek? Shrek, okay. Because I think his username is Oni Snake. Please don't shout at me. The interesting fact about that, they said that the strongest part of their team is their killers. So I can see their survivor gameplay right here. I can see that they are communicating, even though Sadaki is not something that we can track so easily, right? But they are still doing their best. I think they are still pretty solid on their chases. That was pretty ambitious. they're still pretty solid on their survivor efficiency, if we speak about the gens. But do you think... But do you actually think that they will be a stronger Onryo than their survivors quality?
I hope so. I hope so, but Valentines, if we remember them, they're playing killer at the moment. They are a good Onryo, and Valentines was one hell of an efficient survivor team when we had them last time in the community night. So we might see a strong Onryo coming out from Chimera. The problem I can imagine is that the Valentines survivor team will be too efficient and too fast that the killer doesn't even have the time to go for all the downs, entries, and hook stages. We are moving on to Oni Shrek, and that's a very unfortunate run into the killer right here. And this time we will go for the hook. Oni Shrek has been hooked before, so we would force the 60-second timer onto the survivor team now, forcing them into the save. Otherwise, we will see the second elimination. That also counts for the other survivors. Very Person and JJ Pond both going to be eliminated with the next hook stage. So now it doesn't matter for Team Valentines any longer who you're going to hook. In any case, you will move it towards a 2-3-1. Looking onto the generated progress, we also see that the survivor team is struggling to get progress into the objectives at the moment. The to-do list is simply too long on the survivor side. You have too many injuries to heal, too many hook stages to go for, and also Kobe showing us always a good mix of scouting the gens and now coming back to the hook. Very nice planning on his side.
Yeah, I can agree with that. He's pressuring the moments where he definitely needs the pressure. He's pressuring the gens, he's pressuring survivors in the chase. Here's the gen, it's fully locked, right? It's fully locked, he cannot kick it anymore. So now I think the only strategy, the only right strategy that survivors have is resetting somewhere. So Kobe. Is it Kobe or is it Kobe? Because I would read it as Kobe.
I say Kobe.
Okay.
I say Kobe.
Okay, then the only thing they need to do is reset and then pressure the gens. Because they have one gen in their 3-gen area that they can pressure without Onryo kicking it. So I think they would rather reset instead of just running around like this. No, this is very, very bad. Now the very person is the only standing survivor. Alex and G-Pon have been sacrificed. We only have very person and we have only Shrek on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not looking good. Now it's either ends up on 4K2 or our survivors are bringing in something insanely good, but I really doubt that since the very person is running away from our slacked survivor. I'm so worried about that. What do you think? Please?
Yeah,
Please
I'm worried
reassure
too.
me.
Yeah, there's no way our survivor is also going to make any escape here. It's a clean 4K2. I just want to touch on something. Ren Gone Mad had an amazing idea in chat, actually, saying that teams should provide a pronunciation guide on how to go for their names. They could either do, like, especially for the big tournaments we have, they can either send us a short recording reading out their 10 player names, or they use the phonetic alphabet for it, but asking for the teams on giving us info about how to pronounce these difficult usernames is definitely a good idea. Thank you, Ren, for that. We will keep that in mind for All Hallows League. Very Person is a very nice looper though, yet he's not very downed, but he's very much into the pallet. Maybe he will become a very pallet dropper, but for now he's going to be a very W holder, very much into this very big jungle gym, and very unfortunate that this very hard injury is now coming out, putting him very unlucky into this very punishing dying state, meaning that very unfortunately this very good result for Kobe is coming out, since we have a very strong performance with a very nice outcome. Also, no one did a Kobe yet. The only thing Kobe did was showing us a dominant Onryo performance. 4K2 Savannah, crazy.
That is indeed crazy. I was expecting something like that, to be honest. Because usually I would say for a good communicating team, 4K2 on Onryo is something that you're expecting. If you're absolute beasts playing in the pub match against Onryo that doesn't know what she's doing, then I guess outs are possible. But here, with how Kobe was pressuring them, how he was teleporting to different sides of the map, how he was pressuring them in chase, how he was putting on sloppy butcher, right? He was applying butcher on them, so I really think that it was something I was expecting. Now, the only thing that we need to worry about is that another team will be taking the same set point, and we will end up with a tie. Or a win. Or lose. Who knows? Do you know? I don't know. And the hatch is being...
Valentines should win. Valentines should
you
win
think
this.
So?
Yeah, after this performance, 4K2 is insane as an Onryo. I stick to my claim that we shouldn't see any outs on these low tier killers. That we shouldn't see any 4Ks on these low tier killers, and instead a lot of outs. I stick to that. And Valentines, from how I remember them, and from the confidence they earned now as well, coming in first trial 4K2, they shouldn't give this away.
That's right. Also, there was a question in the chat that I skipped. So a DBD team consists of 5 people in the roster and one as a design. I cannot pronounce this word. Designated. Thank you so much. Designated killer, right? Or do they switch up? Well, it really depends on the team. Sometimes teams are coming over and they are saying, we have 4 people on the roster. And that's it. They're playing survivors together. One of them is playing killer, or 2 of them are playing killer. Sometimes even 3 of them are playing killer. And from time to time, we're having teams who bump 15 names on us, and we're saying, we're sorry, we cannot take that. The maximum is 12. 12 is a maximum for our community night. 10 players and 2 people with administrative tasks. This is our maximum. Yeah.
Can I say something real quick? It's addressed to Divinity of Death. It's interesting that Team Chimera will disband, but coming into DBDL, saying from the beginning we are going to troll and we are not going to play serious is definitely not how you are representing your own name in a great way. Because you will certainly play for another team potentially, and you will be remembered. The second thing is I also find it quite disrespectful that you're basically taking the fun for so many people that are trying to enjoy the scrim night, and to Valentines as well, because what you're basically doing is you're neglecting the good performance of Valentines by bringing in the instant excuse, yeah, we're just messing anyway. So no clue if you're actually on the team or if you're just saying that so or so. It's not a nice display. If you're on the team, it's not nice to then play and say you're messing around. It's not fair towards Valentines. If you're not even associated to the team, it's even more strange. But I think we heard your point now, and we can stop the spam about that topic. Thank you. Valentines did play very well, and it was not because Chimera was trolling around. We have seen from the start great mind games, great injuries. I really dislike when teams are saying we're just messing around, that's why we lost, because it takes the appreciation and the respect away from the opponent who actually played well. And this, Onryo did factually play well. There's no question about that. Now we remember it, Valentines was a strong team last time. They had very strong generator efficiency. They have a very nice logo. This is where I agree with the chat. Savannah, out of habit. When we are going into the upcoming trial and you know that you only have to do 4 generators, will we see an aggressive survivor team that is basically saying, let's smash it as fast as we can? Or do you play even more careful, trying to not make a mistake at all?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I would say survivors will be trying to do it aggressively since they know that the win condition is 4 gens. Basically, they can sacrifice each other to the ground unless they pop 4 gens. As soon as they pop 4 gens, I mean. I really expect Valentines to be strong on a survivor team. This is something I was thinking about when I was putting Chimera and Valentines together, because Chimera, before, they were also playing pretty strong. And since I have, just as a secret, do not tell anyone, guys, but I have my own document with team overviews. And there, Team Chimera is specifically assigned as a good performing team. So I decided to put them together. I really hope it will not end up as 5-0. I really hope that it will not happen. But still. The question, can you really be so aggressive with all the restrictions and Onryo at her best, though? That's a good point.
Yes.
That's a good point. But we were talking about Survivor Team, right? Not about Onryo being aggressive. But I can also imagine how Onryo can be aggressive. Yeah.
No, I think he means since the Survivor Team is so limited on the perk side, how can they be aggressive? That's, I think, how it's meant. Also, Lintex, thank you for the sub.
I would say that survivors can still be aggressive. You can see it through. Oh, let me think about how I want to word it. Sometimes when you look at the teams, they can play rather quick games, you know? When you're switching through survivors' POVs and they already have 2 or 3 gens, 90, 99, 80, etc. Sometimes they're really popping such a great performance, which we call aggressive. Aggressive doesn't mean that they will be using the hell out of their perk. Aggressive sometimes means that they will be performing so good that they will have enough time for popping all the gens without having a lot of stages up. I think that was something that Dyer meant by aggressive, right?
Yeah,
and Onryo yeah, just talk. Talk. Okay, let me just finish this sentence quickly. I also think that Onryo can be very aggressive, since she has an ability of teleporting. So imagine when the killer is teleporting everywhere and you cannot keep track of her. So this is also very aggressive. Now go on. Yeah,
okay, so what I would like to add is what I would like to add in that regard is aggression on the survivor side has nothing to do with the perks. Being aggressive on the survivor side means that you are going for the generators immediately. You're not going to wait out a corrupt intervention. You're not even waiting for knowing the location of the killer, calling that, and then going for a generator of your choice. Aggression means you're smashing the gens as 4 individual survivors. Whoever is doing the first chase, you throw all the pallets, you sacrifice them immediately. and you know that your survivor team is already on these gens. And the downside to it, and this is why I call it aggressive, is if the killer is then unexpectedly fast taking a down or mind gaming, you have wasted quite some resources. Your survivor team is not that organized yet because you just went on the first gen you saw instead of going for the optimal split. And then we are talking about the downside. C7, S7 era. I don't know how to pronounce
Sierra,
it.
maybe?
But thank you so much for the Sierra, something like this. Don't be mad at me. But thank you for the support of DBDL. Everything is going into upcoming production, tournaments, and so on. So we are having a hook_2 trickster, a torso man, scroller, and Kobe himself just played the Onryo there, and we are going to move around the water tower. Usually a tower where you can take a little bit of distance. Very person was expecting that there was a head-on in play and was therefore trying to catch the survivor out of the lock, and now wasting time and not even getting the ace. In my opinion, he should have gone through that, risking the potential head-on stun, but if there is no survivor, you would at least have the down. Now you're trying to chase the survivor without any benefit for yourself, and this survivor performance in the first minute of this trial is looking much better than the previous one.
Was a head-on attempt. Did you see that? He just missed. They missed the head-on attempt. That was very unlucky. So we have this question in the chat: why speak only in English? Well, this is pretty obvious because moderators do not know your language most likely. And the viewers who is watching, they also do not know your language. And since English is a pretty general language that everyone is using, that's why you can only, or you may only, speak English in here. Otherwise, we will just not be able to moderate, and we will not have any idea of what you're saying in chat. Alright, I would also like to take a look at killers first. We have Sloppy Butcher, that very person just applied on the we've got 2 hexes, we've got Ruin and Undying, and we have Pop Goes Whistle. So basically it's either survivors or... I thought he would have made that. So basically either survivors are spending their time on cleansing hexes, cleansing totems, and then getting Pop Goes Whistle, or they're not touching the totems and they're going for more efficiency, but then Ruin is always in their way. From the survivor side, I don't even know what would be better, to have Ruin in active or to have Pop active. I don't even know what. I just know that Dwight is again getting Floppy Butchered. He just healed, didn't he?
He just did, yeah, and now he's going to take the injury straight again. I think at the moment it doesn't even really matter for the survivor team if it's Ruin or Pop, because we don't really have the chain of hook stages one after one. And for the Hex Ruin, I don't think that did a lot of a lot of work for the killer as well, because we only had that one hook stage so far, and the Onryo was not really able to push the survivors away from the generators for a long time. So both of these gen regression perks require work from the killer. One in terms of pressuring the survivors, and in best case all around for the Ruin. The Pop Goes the Weasel leads the hook stages, and so far we are unfortunately only having one. Maybe the second one is coming out now, with Claudette potentially taking a trade, but Ace is going to body block here a little bit with that base kick BT, doing some good work. Scroller is going to the floor, and Hook is getting dragged out of the locker. Not entirely sure what that decision making was, because one of these survivors should have just held W. Maybe a miscommunication. Maybe Claudette was hopping into the locker trying to be prioritized over Scroller, but right after Scroller was focused, Colette should have gone out and go for a little bit of distance. And these are the turning points, right? This is what we are talking about when we are mentioning unexpected turns, because out of nowhere, you have 2 survivors incapacitated with downs or on a hook. 1 survivor is camping for the pallet save, only 1 survivor who can currently work on the generators. And this is something very unexpected here that the survivor team of Valentines definitely needs to consider for the upcoming decisions. Hook is going to be unhooked, going to move it out of the basement here. The rescuer seems to stay in the basement. Some interesting decisions are happening at the moment. I'm not too sure about them.
This is a very interesting decision. I'm always a bit skeptical about survivors going into the basement because I have seen so many times how Trauma was trying to do it, and like pretty often it ends up in an absolute disaster. But here it was a good, I think it was a good decision to waste a little bit of Onryo's time, because I need to remind you, our dear viewers, we are on a tiebreaker right now. I mean, on a tie condition. It's 2 gens. That means that our killer, very person, our survivors, the Valentines, they reached the tie condition. This gen, that is so hot there, so progressed. This is the gen that we need for our win condition. Onryo is trying to save it, even though we do not have any additional gen regressing perks that would help her. We do not have Eruption. We do not have... yeah, Eruption I think would be the best play here, but unfortunately we don't have it. Gladly for Onryo, survivors decided to reset. That means that she has a little bit more time for that gen to be regressed. I think our killer is right now trying to find the place of where survivors are resetting, and it seems like they have got a hint, and I think yes, they have been found. We have 1 regressed gen. Oh, that was such a beautiful back here. Okay, I'm actually getting super excited because that gen, it can pop any time and it will be a win condition. I'm just too excited at the moment.
And now we are going to see if that 4th generator will be completed. A little bit, someone is saying that our, I don't know what it was today, but we are actually low on staff during community nights. So the moderators are going to cover the most important things that are happening, but besides that, we will not be able to do too much. We are asking for understanding on that. Scroller, Troll, Soul, Man, Hook, and Kobe. Still our 4 survivors for Valentines, all of them in the game. We are not close to an elimination yet, as we were splitting between Hook and Scroller so far, and Hook completely unaware of the Onryo just taking the injury there by very beautifully running right into the killer back towards the main building. I like how very person is trying to tackle the generators and how he's able to confuse the survivors as well. Dwight here a little bit confused. There is an Ace running around. There is a Claudette in the distance. As great as Team Valentines look in the first 3-4 minutes of the game, as chaotic they are appearing now, Savannah. We have 2 hook stages, now 3 hook stages. This 4th generator should already been completed?
I also think that what distracted them a little bit is very person finding the spot of their reset. I think it also a little bit oh my god, I thought it would be the so the Onryo was demanifested and I thought it would be the down, and that Hook was just trolling around. I was so afraid of that, but fortunately Onryo was demanifested. So I would like to answer actually some questions in the chat at first about moderating not doing anything. I agree. Usually I'm taking care of this, but since I'm casting right now, I am not really active in the chat. So all people who are involved into the discussion about unnecessary topics, the topics that are not connected to the gameplay, please drop it. Otherwise you will be timed out. This is an official warning. Next question was... oh god. please. I lost the question. Is the tie condition only based on gen progression or also hook count? Well, how it works, we have, as you can see on the scoreboard there, up top of your screen, you can see gens, hooks, and first hooks. These are the tie conditions. At first we're counting gens, then we're counting hooks, and then we're counting first hooks. So if gens tie, then we're counting hooks. If hooks tie, we're counting first hooks. If first hooks also tie, then it's a real tie. That's how it works.
And now we are still in the chaotic position of Valentines trying to get that fourth generator out of the way. Dwight back to being injured. I feel like Dwight has spent a lot of time injured right here in this match. Hook is getting the reset, so we're back with 3 healthy survivors. But now, right? Now is the time where we can finally get that 4th generator completed. I feel like this gen is overdue for a couple of minutes now, and the survivor team needs to make sure that they are getting it this time, because we have seen now a very person is able to get some quick downs, and he is able to take some unexpected turns onto the survivor team as well. That's not going to hit. But yeah, so the survivor team, Batter gets the 4th generator out of the way now, going for the win condition. And we see the tree tag happening! The tree tag, someone call skirms! That was insane right there. Such a good loop from our survivor. And still no generator! Guys! What is happening?
That's right. I also think it's pretty logical. Since the resources on the map are getting less resources we have for the survivor team, less and less attempts for regressing the generator killer has. So I think long games are sometimes interesting to watch, right? But at some point there will be an end. Do you think survivor team will actually get that win con gen? Or oh my god, was it 99? Tell me it was 99. Direwolf, I think they're getting the gen. I think they're getting the gen. I think they have it. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
Yes. The win condition has been met. Ladies and gentlemen, the set number 1 Onryo set is going to the team Valentines. Very strong, very good performance, even though the game is taking so long. I like seeing how both of the teams are playing well. Even the Cloded, who is right now cleansing the totem. Both teams are playing outrageously nice. Both teams are amazing, I would say. Amazing to watch, interesting to watch. Yes, I personally like it. Enjoy it.
And we also got confirmation, this person earlier that said something about Chimera disbanding and only messing around. This person was actually not linked to the team, which just makes it more strange. I don't know if this person has fun about spreading misinformation, though Chimera completely fine in that regard. Chimera also doing quite a good job on the killer side here. I feel like this is a realistic result that we're seeing on the Onryo here. We have 1 kill, we have a couple of stages here and there. I think very person did well, and you also need to keep in mind, when you know that the win condition is so tight as a killer, you are playing a little bit differently. If you could achieve any result, then we might have even seen a 4K here or 10 stages. But when you know that you can only have so many generators flying, then you guard the generators much more than you would usually do, potentially giving up on some downs in that regard. On the other hand, you are maybe also taking a little bit more risk, because you're thinking, well, I need this down right here, and in a normal setting you would already drop the chase. So you're playing a little bit different based on the win condition, so let's keep that in mind. And I do think Chimera did a good job here. So we have the Valentines taking the first set point, more than deserved, I would say. We are moving towards the Legion. We will take a very short break, refilling our glasses. You guys get new snacks, and we will see you in just a moment.
Hello back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on DDS, Deck Dog Saloon, with the Legion game. Legion games are always pretty interesting to watch. I don't know why I'm saying always, since we have never seen Legion before. But I'm really excited to see how it will go. Legion is pretty, as I know, pretty annoying to play against. Since the intros are so quick. So I think our survivors have to be very, very well communicated to run the further they can to not get hit and basically get pre-hit, right? Pre-hit with a down following after that. I was pretty confused up there what happened, but then I realized that Legion's power just ran off. So what do you think about this? Direwolf, what do you think about our win? Con? How will the game end up? I think it will be 4K. No, actually, 2 escapes.
There should be an escape. I'm sticking to my claim from earlier, but if there is any chance for a 4K today, then I would see it with the Legion set, because if you're taking a little bit too much risk, or like this Claret being zoned back into this gallows corner, you will have a very, very rough time. Even though if you manage to drop this power in time, then you still don't take the biggest amount of distance here. Onishrek trying to fake the break of the pallet. Claudette though staying with the patience. Nice double vault. No, Onishrek actually made a huge mistake here, because now Claudette has access to reach the other pallets and giving her a huge chance to make it out of this area. Definitely a little bit of a fumble there from our killer. On the other hand, Claudette not going to drop the filler pallet that was available, instead going into the absolute corner. Good first chase, so we should see a generator coming out. That is the case indeed on the main building. 2 other generators on 50%. So it's looking great. This is exactly how you want to start a survivor match. Now though, we see it on Kobe here, comes the difficult decision making on the survivor side. How much risk do I want to take? How much risk can I take as a potentially constantly injured survivor, as we are usually not healing against this killer? So all of this needs careful consideration.
It also needs a very, very good communication, since our killer has Thanatophobia, Eruption, and was it Scorch Hook? I think it was Scorch Hook. So, right, it is Scorch Hook. So teams has to be very, very good on communication. They need to constantly call out the eruptions. That was a very unlucky attempt of flashlight saves. The idea was great, but I think the timing wasn't very nice. Kobe just didn't have enough time to make it to another side of the pallet to actually flashlight save. Eruption popped on Ace, I think. It was Ace screaming, so the communication was not very well done there. The gen got erupted here, we're getting slugged, and Legion is making their way back to the hoop, I think. In the meanwhile, this gen will be popped. So it will already be 3 gens left. So Dyer, what do you think? Are we actually making outs, including the fact that right now it will be a trade on Dwight? Kobe is being slugged, and the good pressure is being applied on the survivor team. I am not so sure that they're getting out here.
Terry is also holding me accountable in chat, saying, remember, there would be escapes any match. I don't know what's happening. From one way to the other, we are having a huge turn. The survivor team took a little bit too much risk, allowed the Legion to take pressure. We are having an elimination on 3 gens remaining. About Sato, about the team being on what side, we have Valentines on survivor side. You can see it on the right side of the scoreboard with the survivor icon, and Chimera is on the killer side. On the full left, you can see the killer icon in the scoreboard. That is indicating it. So yeah, Valentines is currently on the survivor side. They played a good match on the Legion. Only Shrek from Chimera is taking the responsibility on the Legion. Something that's interesting to me as well is I feel like we are identifying a standard at the moment by scouting the teams, because what happened yesterday in a lot of the trials was essentially that the survivor team started good and then lost the internal structure at some point. And I feel like this is exactly what's happened here on Valentines now, and what happened before on Chimera's survivor team on the Onryo. They were looking good, they were having the gen pressure, and then at some point it all fell apart. So as a general problem, I think we can identify based on analyzing these Scrim Nights that one of the biggest things to practice for new teams in Comp DBD is not only showing a good performance, but working on the consistency in the decision making, especially. Oh, nice fake there on the window. A short hyper moment right there. This is what we are here for.
That's right. I absolutely agree with you. When we're picking the team to play our tournaments at first, because I'm getting so many questions every day in my DMs when the team will be picked. Can you pick my team, etc. I know we have a lot of sign-ups, guys. I'm not lying. On my document on Excel, we have at around 35 teams right now who signed up. The teams from all around the world: Asia, Europe, Russia, NA. We even have, I think, one team from SA who signed up. So we have a lot of teams, and the first thing that we're judging is if you have ever participated in any other tournaments. You must show us that you are a consistent player, that you want to improve, you want to improve everywhere, not only on DBDLeague, but also on the on stages of other leagues, maybe smaller, but other leagues, COTF, OTF. We will welcome you here when you have a good performance, when you have a consistent performance, you're consistently practicing, improving, and doing everything you can to achieve some top gameplay levels. So a little bit about the gameplay. We have 5 hooks, and now we have 2 gens left. This is already going a little bit closer to our prediction that we'll have at least 2 outs, yet I really think that it will... I even lost the voice for a second. Did you hear that? I lost it. So we have 2 gens left, but we also have 3 survivors left. And as you can see, Ace is running Winners of Opportunity, and we do not have so many opportunities around the map. So I really think that it can end up pretty badly for Team Valentines, unfortunately. Let's just hope that they can somehow pull it together and go... Oh no, killer blood. And go through this. And this is another fake! No, this is unreal! It was Ace, yeah, who is always window tagging. It's not a window tag, is it? How is it called, guys? I really forgot how it's called. It's not a window tag. I know what window tag is, but it's not it.
Fake.
Window
just
fake, that's
tag.
right. Yeah. Fake tag.
Okay. Though, one thing we need to consider, even if he runs this perk, in case he's playing on a MacBook right now, he's not gonna have windows of opportunity. Anyway, Torso Man and Kobe are the 2 injured survivors that are taking the responsibility now for the rest of the trial, to take the teammate from the hook, and that are also responsible for taking pressure on the generators. They found a good timing for the unhook, that's for sure, trying to get the 3rd survivor back into the trial as quick as they can. Ace trying to force the injury here, getting away with the deep wound, but Legion is expecting that and will wait some additional seconds. Therefore, Scroller is going to go down onto the floor here. Flashlight save, not going to happen. So it's going to be Kobe and Torso Man facing the 4K2 once again. We have seen that on the Onryo. There it was Chimera Survivor team. Now we have it on the Legion Valentines Survivor game. Our killers definitely doing a lot of work here.
That's absolutely right. Now we are 2 survivors left. We were talking about the win condition, not the win condition, sorry, the prediction, and that we for sure needed people to escape. In our head, it listed. Yes, it did. That's very nice that you noticed. A person from Turkey is calling me right now. I have no idea how they got my number. I have no idea why they're calling me, but okay. That is a very, very nice timing for a head-on here when I'm explaining that someone is calling me, but right. Kobe, even though we have 2 survivors on the map, Kobe is still fighting. Kobe is still trying to do everything he can. That's what I call fighting like lions. Unfortunately, because of the eruption, Legion now has a very, very clear idea where the Dwight is. So, these unfortunately will end up with 4K2. Not the 2 escapes that we wanted so much, right? Who do you have now that Legion can be so strong? But yeah, shout out to both teams. They're playing very good. They are, unfortunately, on the survivor side, they need to be a bit more pulled together. Also, there was a question, an interesting question in the chat. How do you show that you're consistent if you need experience to participate in the first place? That sounds like a joke, yeah? When you finish university, when you're at university, they say you need to finish it. When you finish university, they say you need to get a job, and the job says you need experience, and no one is taking you because you don't have experience, right? So the thing that I can recommend you, there are Scrim Nights. There are Scrims, not only on DBDLeague. We have so many other organizations where you can participate and who take people without any wins in other tournaments. For example, we have DOTF. We have COTF is a bit bigger, yeah. But let's start with, for example, Arcade. Yeah. People are very often playing on Auto for Scrims. Some of the people are taking participation in hands tournaments. Some people are going on how is this league called? Oh god, I forgot. I'm so sorry. The Diamond League, was it? I think there is some sort of a Diamond League. Please chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But there are so many other organizations all around the world. They're speaking different languages. There are purely, for example, Russian organization, purely German organizations, European organization. We have purely French organizations. So many. And you can take your participation spot in any of those. You can show them that you're grinding, you're improving. And then you can come on DBDLeague with the entire list of the organizations you have visited before, where you have either lost or won. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're improving and your how is it, performance? Yeah, your performance is getting better and better. I'm talking so much. I'm sorry, Direwolf.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back after this wall of text. But what she says is essentially it can be broken down to play wherever you can, but I cannot bully her now because I also tend to monologue. It's in my veins since I'm a teacher. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? These teams are just determined to prove Dire wrong about the outs. Yeah, they are paid actors. Terry probably paid them to get 4K to prove me wrong. That's why he's hunting me in chat about it as well.
Oh, if we're talking about the payment, I would say that Greece paid someone, because Greece is subbing and donating and giving so much into DBDL that I would not even be surprised if he hired paid actors for us.
Also, someone just said we are made for each other because we are both talking so much. It's actually not like this can sometimes lead to very bizarre situations. For example, we were deciding a while ago where we go for summer. And we had this city in mind, this city in mind. And when you have two people like us, and then you're trying to exchange arguments what city you should go, do you know how long that takes until both people even laid out their first initial I would like to go there because, like, do you know how long that takes? And now you need to imagine then we have to reply to each other, we have to give arguments about it, and at the end we need to find a solution. Do you have any idea how long it takes us to decide on where we go for holidays? At the end we took something
completely different.
Yeah.
But Rick, thank you so much for the sub. Already 3 months. We love you too. This is so sweet. We already love seeing how community is reacting to us. Actually, community night was not something that we were hosting before, as you know. Before we had, and now we have our 3 main events, starting with the season, then going into All Hallows League, and ending up with Winter Circuit, and like that. As a circle. And now we also introduced community nights. We're thinking on making community nights about 1v1 tournaments, right? We were thinking about a very more other ideas. A lot of ideas actually we have. I hope we will be able to bring them in and that you will like it, but it's also such a wonderful moment to see that you guys share and appreciate what we're doing for you, because we're putting our hearts onto it. We put our time, energy, sweat, blood, and everything that is running in our bodies. But okay, enough about that. We're loading into the game. We have a second game of a Legion. Direwolf. Important question. How will this end up?
I don't know anymore.
You are so deep. You sound so depressed.
I don't know. I was so confident going into this. I was like, we will not see any outs. It shouldn't happen. Now I'm actually not too sure. Well, I hope that we will at least see one survivor team taking the outs. So this time Chimera. Also, because we want to have the 1-1, keeping the best of 5 very open, having the teams balancing each other out on the different sets. It would also fit because Valentines was picking the Onryo, Chimera was picking the Legion, so it would only make sense if they are now going into that. Valentines here on the killer side, trying to take the 4K with 3 gens standing against Dark, Renox, Alex, Very Person, and GG Pond. GG Pond sacrificing the pallet as early as possible, not trying to do anything risky here, but he has to go all the way around, and I doubt that this is going to be enough. So a quick down happening once more. That also means we have the chance for a quick pain rest coming in, so any progress like this onto the generators is already denied, and we don't even have the biggest amount of progress. 40% on one of the generators, now back to 20. Definitely another potential struggle for the survivor team early on. We already have the next chase going on. We will see if the injury is coming out. Alex is able to confuse the Legion a little bit. Will be able to confuse her for quite some time, but ultimately it's going to end up in the injury. Now going for the rescuer on the hook. Also rough, because now we had one survivor moving all the way over here, not being able to work on a gen and not even taking the unhook. So Dark Renox now needs to move in. It's starting to become hectic.
That does indeed start to become hectic. Also, what I would like to bring up is that our survivor team, Chimera, are having 2 duplicated survivors, which is of course not allowed by the rules of DBDLeague. Unfortunately, our producer didn't catch that, and it's absolutely alright, because after all, it is not on us. It is not on.
You don't expect that.
The casters, you do not. Yeah. You're not. It is not on the producer. It is not on anyone but the team. and unfortunately here team is not taking our greatest gratitude for bringing in 2 taps. We already had a situation like this in community nights where against Spirit, 2 teams, a team brought 2 aces, which was also very hard to watch because they also took this set, the point for that set. So yeah, it's a common mistake. It happens. I think teams after that will remember that it's not allowed to have it, especially because it gives allergy to Direwolf. He's allergic to situations like this.
Especially as a German. Germans are sticking to rules, but yeah, it's important. I mean, it can happen, they are nervous. So if it only happens one time in a scrim night, and besides that, not anymore, then it's certainly fine. But 2 same characters is also really something that we are not catching, because you're just not expecting it, you're not paying attention to it, because teams are so used to the individual survivor. This is usually really not where you're expecting a mistake. We do see the slug coming out from Kobe, so the karma is coming out for the survivor team. Chichipon is going down right here. I worked the whole day. This is my excuse.
Oh no, someone said they are getting 2 tapped.
This is my joke. I wanted to use it later. Damn, I need a new one now. Let me cook real quick.
Okay.
Savannah, take over. I'm cooking.
Alright. Happy cooking. What I was also wanted to bring up is today is the 4th July. If we have any Americans watching us right now, happy Independence Day, everyone. Okay, now moving to the question. We have a question which is titled as Real Question. What's the big deal with double characters and why is it not allowed? Well, at first, if the killer has anything connected to aura, he will not be able to distinguish which survivor is which. And in comp environment, it is very important. It is very important because you still have first hook conditions, you still have your tunnels out, and you need to determine and distinguish where the hell is your survivor, where the hell is he? I need this one right now. And since Dark Renox and Alex are the same survivors right now, it is almost impossible to distinguish by the aura. It is actually impossible to distinguish by the aura which one is which one is where. That's why we do not allow double survivors in. I hope I answered that question. And let's move on onto our gameplay once again. We're having 3 survivors standing. That means, as Dyer would say, the gen efficiency is significantly dropping. I'm very happy to say that.
I didn't find a new joke, by the way.
Didn't? Oh, that's alright.
I didn't yet.
I hope you will.
Just add someone. I would just like to add something real quick about the unique survivors. It's also in general about the tactic for the killer. A lot of aura perks are removed. The few we are allowing are definitely going to cause trouble in that regard, but overall as a killer, you really want to play for removing a survivor as quick as you can. You want to be aware and be able to remember. For example, if Alex is now having a sprint burst and we are working in this corner generator on the Dead Dog Saloon, as a killer, you want to anticipate from the start, is this the survivor that I remember has the sprint burst, so I might need to cut him off? Or is that the survivor I saw with the balance landing earlier? So the killers and the survivors, they learn something from each other. They see what perks they have, they see the items, etc. And when you have the duplicate character, you are basically not able to make the correct decision anymore. You're not able to tell, is this the tab with the sprint burst or is it not? And the only reason why you are not able to distinguish it is not because you forgot about it or because you made a mistake. It's simply because they play the same character, and that doesn't really indicate skill. So we are expecting the killers to be able to remember perks and play around it, and at the same time the survivor team not being able to confuse the killer for free and therefore taking all of their resources in their advantage. Instead, we are expecting the survivor team to maybe hide a perk even until it's fully coming out. So this just as an additional answer there. Kicking the generator on the main building on the Alive Cat Saloon, and we're trying to catch the next survivor. Savannah, I'm afraid we're seeing a 4K3.
I'm afraid so. Do you remember the score that we had before? Was it 4K2 or 4K3?
4K2.
4K2.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
Valentines
then I'm a
would
little
win.
bit afraid. I'm a little bit afraid, but I still think that our survivors may have a chance. At the same time, it is DBDL Saloon, it is Eruption active, it is one person on the hook and 2 others are injured. So it can really end up pretty bad. Now we're getting the
Especially
down
with
on the
Alex.
cold. I just said cold tower, now we're getting the down on the cold tower. Okay, GG's. On the water tower, we're having our down. Tap is now going onto the main building to continue progressing the gen, and Very Person is currently being in chase. If right now Very Person is getting downed, and he is, that means that our game is pretty much over. Now the only thing that Kobe needs to do is to find the Dark Ranox, which last time was seen by the main building somewhere. Here he is in the middle of the map, running to save his team, running to save his win condition, and maybe try to fight for the win of the Legion set. Unfortunately here for Alex, he's being the only last survivor standing and not making that out of this tile. Very, very unfortunate. Teams were playing against hard condition, I would say. But yeah, it seems like Valentines are taking a set one more time. Now it's already 2-0 to Valentines. Team Chimera, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Please, please, please. Go ahead. We're waiting a miracle. Yes, go.
But do you know what's happening now?
Yeah.
We're going to see the Boopsie.
Oh my god.
Yes, Boopsie coming out next, my absolute favorite set for tonight. I'm not even going to comment about the Legion. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that we didn't have any outs. I don't remember what I said in the campfire chat earlier about the prediction. What is dementia, guys? Therefore, very nice performance by Valentines, though, to be honest. Taking this bag is a huge win for Valentines, also proving them that you should never give up and that the team has a lot of potential. For Chimera, this is a very hard loss to take.
Yeah.
You had a very rough survivor game on the Onryo. You had a very rough survivor game now on the DBDL Saloon, and it's something that is affecting your killer player as well. When you are having a 4K2, and then you have to watch your survivor team not taking that set because they are getting 4K3. That is not only messing with the mental motivation of the survivor team, that is also doing something with your killer player for the upcoming trial. So we need a turn now. Chimera needs to take this upcoming set, otherwise it's going to be really rough. Mori Legend. 4K3 basically means 4 kills with 3 generators remaining. 4K2 would be 2 generators remaining. 4K0 would be all gens done. Anything like that. So we are moving on to the Boopsie. Boopsie will be on the Tea House, a very fascinating map. You have a lot of size for the survivor team, a lot of room where they can spread, where they can waste a lot of time. You have quite some safe spots on the right and left side of the main building, usually spawning some jungle gyms. We have some strong filler pallets, but then towards the bottom side, we have a lot of open field, maximum few TNLs. So yeah, a very unique map, and we can only hope that the survivors are great with the gen efficiency, because once you have removed all the resources, the Baba is becoming insanely strong. Savannah, real quick, what's your prediction for this? Will we see some outs maybe? Hopefully.
Oh, with the Baba, it is very tricky because I personally never ever seen Baba actually in comp. Never ever. I think we are the first organization who decided to have Leatherface on an actually competitive stage. So it is very, very hard to predict, but I would still go with 4K. 5. Okay, no. 4K. No, 4K. It's like for sure because it's Baba. Who is running away from the Baba? You're running towards the Baba, not away. It is Leatherface. What can be better than facing the Leatherface? Nothing can be better there. Wolf, please don't be silly. So, my prediction, there is no prediction. 4K. 4K, this is what I'm going to say. And that's it. What do you think? Yeah, you're eating, all right. You're numbing. Actually, it is very, very hot here where I live. I don't know how hot it is, guys, for you, but it is 8 p.m. in my country right now, in my city, and it is plus 36 degrees outside. And it is not pleasant at all. And I also cannot turn on my ventilator because it will just be too loud for you. So I'm losing my body right here, just at this very moment when I'm talking to you. So
we are ready. I'm just eating a yogurt right now. Day was filled with work. School year's ending. We have a lot of deadlines we need to do in terms of exam correction, handing in the marks and more. So I basically went on my desk at 9:30 a.m., corrected exams, and then I came to this community night, which I really love, but that means that I have to get my yogurt between the trials here. But since we have such a nice community and such a lovely chat, you don't want to go on a break, obviously. So
that's right.
We are going to push through. Ladies and gentlemen, the tea house is ahead of us. We are going to see the Leatherface coming out. A little bit of a feeling of the movie. And no, I don't eat my yogurt with bacon. That would be very weird. Thinking. Okay, let's see what's happening. Valentines so far, let's make a short summary. Valentines being up by 2 set points. Valentines seems to be a little bit more consistent on the survivor side. Not so much chaos happening, even though the 4K2 on the previous Legion trial should be a warning to them to watch, because Chimera's killer definitely being strong. There we go. We are having Hex, Ruin, Pentimento, an interesting combination there. So we are trying to gain quite some time. I do think Leatherface, with his ability to camp, is planning to use that to remove one survivor as quick as he can. And then it's definitely great if you have... Oh! Taking the first injury right there onto Onishrek. But then it's definitely nice to know while you're camping a survivor that the others are slowed down by minus 20% there quite some time. Breaking this breakable wall here. Going into the main building. Onishrek trying to go for the next pallet. Does achieve that easily. Since we have the balanced landing, but over peeking on the corner. 2-tap almost from the Baba. That's a horrible start.
That's a horrible start for a survivor, not for Kobe. Kobe is doing great. Kobe is doing perfectly fine. I think he's trying to pull the survivor a little bit closer to his regen, right? Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. But let's take a look quickly on the killer build. So at the moment, killer is having 4 hexes, not 3 hexes, sorry. 1 corrupt and 3 hexes. Even though they had corrupt in play, I guess they were a little bit not confident if they were going to make it as quick as they did. Very happy that they did. 3 hexes, Pentimento, Ruin, and Hex crowd control. Which is a pretty interesting build in my opinion. So again, as it was with this Legion set, right? Was it? Yeah, Legion set. It's either you're cleansing the totems. It was not Legion set, it was the first set.
Oh yeah, it was Onryo.
It was Onryo, yeah, it was Onryo. So it's either you're cleansing those totems and you're dealing with Pentimento, or you're not touching it and you're trying to deal with crowd control, which with Leatherface can be a little bit tricky, since the main enemy of Leatherface is, in fact, Windows. So here we're seeing Oni Shrek is being saved. Unfortunately, they did hit second stage, so now the most logical decision by Kobe would be tunneling out Oni Shrek, unfortunately, because this Sable skin is fire and completely amazing, wonderful, spectacular, and I would really not like to have this Sable dead, but alright, I guess. So the Sable is being chased in Shack. Shack is being crit dropped, which is pretty competitive. Although I think they had a little bit of a distance to make it one time around the Shack before crit dropping. Now another competitive thing is going on. Comp Corner. Comp Corner is always something you do when you're desperate and you want to run away. At the same time, 3 generators have been popped. We have tap on these, not really progress generators, just at around 10%. Sable is being sacrificed, another generator is being popped. So now it's just 1 gen left until our survivors can actually escape. My prediction is being pretty tight here. I have, oh no! Oh, I thought they bumped. Oh, alright, I guess. So, Dyer, what do you think? Do you think I was actually right about my prediction, or we're getting some escapes here?
I hope not, because according to my big call, we do need some outs, and we need some escapes. The difficulty is that we have a nice, somewhat 3-gen, we could say, all on the top side of the tea house. So if you are able to get 1 down here, and then you're, for example, hooking behind the main building here on the hill where you can defend 2 generators almost, then you definitely take a good advantage for yourself here. Kobe moving on to Alex. Alex has to sacrifice 2 pallets back to back, is trying to get the stun out, but Kobe just not allowing that. Reaching the jungle gym in time, 3rd pallet being dropped, and this is the big payoff you have to do now. You have to sacrifice the resources, and in the meanwhile, you need to be 100% sure that the survivor team is working on these gens. Alex showing us some confidence and does get the bump out of Kobe, and this chase took too long. Overcommitment there by the killer onto Alex is being punished. 5th generator going to be completed. We are moving into the end game. Will we see an end game speed run from the Baba? That is the last chance we would have. Kobe is anticipating and seeing the Dwight also on this exit door over here. Dark Renox is taking as much input on the exit gate switch as he can before actually going to leave. We are having a pallet nearby and the second one in the distance being shown as well. So we are looking relatively safe. We're moving into the main building though, not too far away from the other exit doors. Is coming through. The other 2 survivors though are going to be safe. So that's going to be a fresh hook kept in the trial bumping it to 6 stages, doubling up the result, which is definitely nice to see. On the other hand, 6 stages on just 2 survivors is not the best result on the other hand. So there's definitely a potential for Team Chimera. We have seen their killer. Their Legion game, for example, looked really good. On the Onryo game, they had some ideas as well. So there's a good possibility for Chimera to take 7 stages here.
It is also very important to notice survivors were very, very efficient on the gens, and at some point I wanted to say that the resources of the map are going down pretty quickly. Oh my god, that's Sable, she's gorgeous. All right, I'm sorry. The resources were going down very, very fast, but at the same time, nothing can stop the survivors at the same time when the killer is chasing you and you're dropping the pallets so fast, so quickly. The generators are still being progressed. So if your team is efficient on gens, which Chimera was, then it's just perfect. Then you can pre-drop, drop everything you can, everything you may, everything you want to. Your team will still get those gens done, which was very good from the Chimera side. Well played. Well played, Chimera. Oh my god. Well played, Valentines. It was a very nice Baba performance. You also need to remember, guys, for anyone who would say, I'm 4King in pubs with my Baba, I would like to comment on that. Well, I also think that Oni Shrek would 4K in pubs with Baba. But do not forget that Baba is currently on tier 3. It is also a competitive environment. Teams are communicating. Teams were prepared. They knew they're going to play this killer for at around a week now. So they were preparing for the entire week for this Scrim Night. So very, very nice. Both teams did amazing. What do you think about this set number 2? Oh, also, what I would like to add, seeing the Thompson House in DBDLeague, casting over it, watching how the teams who played before are now taking place in Thompson House is actually something that is warming my heart. I love Coldwind, I love Thompson House with my entire heart, and I hope that you guys like it too. So, Dyer, do you think our second team will meet the condition? Do you think they will overplay it, or do you think they will underplay it? What is your opinion on that?
I see one problem here. Basically, your win condition is really great when you are listening to it, right? 7 stage, or let's say it on the other hand, as a killer, when you hear that you only need 7 stages, or alternatively 6 stages split on 3 individual survivors, you feel very confident because you most of the time always get someone in the end game. You can even aim for the fresh hook. So that would be 3 stages that you can plan with. You 100% down someone during the trial, so you get 1 or 2 stages, effectively meaning that you have 1 or 2 stages ahead of you for the win condition. Knowing that is going to make you feel very safe as a killer and very confident, but it has the danger or the risk that you are feeling so confident that you're potentially overcommitting to a chase because you are feeling like, well, I just need this down now. I will get it soon. What can happen? Because I'm so close to my win condition already. And this overcommitment, if this is then leading to 1 or 2 pallets too much and the survivor team is brutally efficient, out of nowhere the exit gates are ready and they're running out of the door. So this is the difficulty here, that you are feeling confident for a good reason. Party Wompel, thank you so much for the sub and supporting DBDL and everything we're doing. On the other hand, you need to make sure that you are not becoming so confident that you are potentially saying, I have more time, I have more resource. And yeah, this is the danger I see. Theoretically speaking, it should be a win for Chimera. This time we are talking about 6 stages. As said, 3 of them you can get during the end game. If you're planning this well, you are able to go for a fresh survivor. So 3 stages, basically half of the win condition can be hunted down in the end game. It seems like we have a lot of problems with the lobby at the moment, or the server that is going on in the background. Not entirely sure what's happening there.
In the meanwhile, you guys can ask us questions, anything you want. We will try to answer. I usually answer to everyone in chat when I am in chat, of course. So now I can also do that via voice. So please go ahead and do some yapping. Let's do some yapping. Savannah, what do you think about Shinken? I would rather not talk about that. I already had my trauma when I saw that you guys are eating raw meat. This was enough for me. It was
We're not
my.
eating. Wait.
We are. That was my last time
This
in
is.
Germany. I will never come back to your country.
We're not talking about raw meat. No German is hunting a cow in the forest and then biting the cow. This is not what we are doing in Germany. What we are doing is Mettbrötchen. And where are my German fellows now supporting me about Mettbrötchen? Come on, guys. Mettbrötchen. I don't know how to describe Mettbrötchen. It's basically it's basically the mix of beef and pork that you can eat raw without having problems afterwards.
Deutsches. Look at that now.
Met
Our
and
chat is
thank you. Fleischkäse, yes.
You look at that now. The chat is Deutsches. No, get out of my. I will type out all of
These
you.
are my people. These are my people.
No, wait. I will type I English. Okay, actually. All right. I haven't tried Shinken, so I cannot really tell anything about that. The second question. What is your favorite killer? I think someone asked me that yesterday in chat, and I already said that I don't really play killer, like, ever. I'm really into survivors, and I'm maining Sable. But I do like playing killers from time to time when I have an episode. Do you know those episodes when once, like, per 2 months you're switching in between stuff, like you were playing DBD, then you switch to another game and you never enter DBD for another month? Well, I have those episodes sometimes. So usually I'm playing Survivor, but sometimes when I have one of those, I'm just switching into Killer, and for the entire month I can grind on the Killer and 4K the hell out of our public matches. Pop Warlord, how I call myself. So if I do, then I of course play Baba. Baba is my favorite killer to verse, favorite killer to play. Before I used to main Huntress, but now Huntress is not fun anymore since she's now she's having what 7 default hatches and 10 maximum, which is in my opinion not very fun to play. Baba is fun, so I am playing Baba. What is your favorite killer there, Wolf?
My favorite killer to watch in comp DBD is Plague. I'm always hyping the Plague. It's the best killer that you can see. If you would like to hear a full lecture about Plague, I'm able to do that. I could talk 60 minutes about Plague in the competitive environment. About playing killer, what I enjoy the most, I barely play killer. I have to admit that, first of all. I actually enjoy Legion sometimes. I love sprinting across the map and just hunting survivors. I have no specific strategy on Legion. I have no perk build for Legion, but I just love running over the map from left to right. Then I feel like I did some sport and I don't have to do it in real life. That's like after a Legion game and all the breathing and all the exhaustion the Legion was expressing, you feel like you made a whole workout. I could write a master's degree on Plague. Yeah, I could really do that. Since when are you and Savannah together? Oh, now it's becoming romantic in here. DBDLeague chat is putting out the candles. We're together since 2022. when it's the casters versus comp killers, we are never doing that again. We once played against community killers with the staff team, and we got absolutely slaughtered.
Oh, you can even see that on the stream starting scene. There is a little piece of me being grabbed from the locker by Zaka. We were playing Trapper on what was the map? Was it? It wasn't Wreckers. It wasn't Wreckers, but it was Oda Heaven. We were playing against Trapper. Zaka was playing as a Trapper, and we got, I think it was me, Direwolf, Rats, and the fourth person. I don't remember who was playing with us, but we got annihilated to the ground. I think we died on, it was 4K3 against Trapper, or 4K3 or 4K2 it was. It was not pleasant. That's why we will not try again.
So, we are finally loading in, ladies and gentlemen. We are having the Baba on the tea house, second trial, and I think Escradet is going to wake up now, because we're going to have some action with Demon X. On the killer side, Scrawler, Torso Man, Kobe, and Hook are going to take the responsibility for Team Valentines, and Chimera will be on the killer. Will they be able to finally go for that first set point, pushing it into a 2 against 1? Keep in mind, since it's a scrim night, we will play all 5 sets. That's going to be something that we're seeing, but it would always be nice when we don't have a theoretical winner early on, and instead keeping the scrim night open. Survivors spreading across the generators. Torso Man might be the first one in chase, but Demon X decides to just scout the area, trying to find someone in the main building instead, going towards the left side. Usually Survivors spawning into the corrupted area. Here though, I'm afraid that the killer took a little bit too long actually, and the Survivors were already able to move a little bit further into the midsection. Scrawler though now for his team in the first chase, but trying to go for the mind game. That's going to be the break of the pallet though. Not going for the stun. It looked like he tried to do that, and then 1 is not possible. We are going to sacrifice the next pallet. TNL coming out. Difficult mind game against the Baba. M1 perfectly understandable here. You want to spread some injuries. You want to force them into potential resets even. And we'll see how quick they are. Kobe and Torso Man teaming up on this generator. Ruin is in, so the Baba could also consider rotating down towards this generator, making sure that the regression is kicking in. That's exactly what we are seeing now. White is going to sacrifice this pallet here as well. Survivors playing safe. Survivors not taking too much risk. Definitely like to see that.
Yeah, me also. Especially including the fact that we had 2 outs right now. Our killer has to be a little bit more aggressive, right? They must not let... how many? Wait, I'm counting in my head. Please help me someone. What is the win con? The win con
stages
is
and
6
3
stages.
survivors, or 7 stages?
Right. So, yeah. Thank you so much. I was actually having a heart attack while doing math. I am so bad at math. I'm a linguist. So right here we're seeing our Clothed being in chase on this jungle gym. Hook is trying to somewhat abuse the jungle gym's window since the pallet has already been dropped. Now Clothed is rotating into the jungle gym with Scroller being in it, which I'm not sure is the best decision. Yeah, it was not the best decision, so now they are rotating. Having 2 survivors down next to each other versus Baba is not something you want to do since he has a chainsaw. In the meanwhile, we're having another hook in the distance. Another gen is popping, so now we're already on 2 gens left. This is going super fast. The Valentines are incredibly efficient on gens. Sometimes I even think that Valentines is actually the only team that is, from the efficient side, they are somewhat like our Season 9 participants. The real top 10 teams that we had, the gen efficiency is pretty much the same. What do you think, or am I flipping? Or do you think the same? What do you think about it?
It's like the previous trial. We have some good chases. At the same time, the Baba is getting some hook stages in. The difference is a little bit that we are not able to go for such a quick elimination this time, because Ace is going all the way towards the shack here, dragging us away from the active generators. The shack pallet is going to be thrown in the second as well, and he's not on the second stage so far. So the elimination will be drastically delayed, and this is the difference to the first trial now. So far it's the same, but then we had the chance to go for the elimination, and that allowed us to take the fresh hook in the end game, and now we need to make sure that we are not reaching the end game before getting an elimination. But unfortunately Ace is taking the wrong direction. Google Maps didn't work there for him. Claudette is also it was Kobe coming out here trying to go for the flashlight attempt. Not entirely sure if I agree with that. I feel like the priority at the moment could be the generators. A quick unhook can still be very beneficial though. Surprising that Baba is just moving away from the hook, basically allowing the free save here. Scroller going to reach this pallet with no problem. There's the base kit BT in play as well, though he is leaving this one now, and Baba already switching over towards Claudette with 2 additional stages if she dies. So we can already tell our killer is playing more and more towards the win condition, not so much about the hook state or the elimination on one survivor anymore. He's trying to get in as many stages as possible.
That's right, and we also can see that our survivors team is not sleeping. At the same time, they're cleansing the hacks. It was ruined, that was cleansed. They're also popping up the gen in the distance, and I think our survivors right now will face something very, I would say, nasty, because it's always nasty to deal with Pentimento. So right now, on top of their usual things they need to do as doing the gen, unhooking, they also need to cleanse and find and cleanse Pentimento. And that's an advantage of being in... What? How did this not hit? Okay. The advantage of them being in one team, as they can communicate, communication is always basically everything. So now our teams can just freely save everyone. I cleansed the ruin there, the totem is there, and then the Pentimento is just gone. Very, very nice hold from Kobe here. He was waiting out, he was greeting this pallet, even though you usually... What is this chase? I cannot just watch it, this is so great. Kobe is... Oh, okay. Kobe is greeting the pallet, he is making 2 circles around the
And he bumped!
Killer, he's blinding him, and Baba stun whatever he wants. Guys, this is incredible, and the last gen is popping in the distance, and here the Claudette is taking the hit because she's... Oh my god, wait, I need to take the break. The Claudette is a survivor, which was 2-staged already, and Renato is our fresh hook, so we want to protect him. Yeah, we want to protect him as much as we can. That's why the Claudette is already here now. Bleeding, I can... Also taking the hit against Baba is always something you want to... No, this... Oh my god, I guess Kobe was... Okay, wait, if he now... The timing? The stun?
No, Baba won't let him out though. Baba won't let him out. He can always block the pallet there. Endgame collapse might be a factor here when he's holding them. We are going to see the...
Sorry, but if the survivor I saw on the background, there was a survivor. Imagine if they would have pallet stun the Baba from the behind, because he was standing in the pallet, and then Kobe can just freely go into the gates. Imagine.
Yeah, this is one of the most intense end games that we have seen. Baba needs to be careful about that track pallet. The survivors already coming in from behind. Communication, though, not on point just yet. Maybe they're not having the idea. This is difficult, and that might be the ace coming in, but it's not going to help. Baba celebrating with the turns. They're now pushing out the survivor, but we do have a Claudette, ladies and gentlemen, and Claudette might be the deal breaker here for the Baba in case we are picking up. Where is Claudette, though? She's on the other side of the map. I don't understand that, I have to say, because basically when we are hooking Kobe, it's a loss anyway, so why wouldn't you take the risk? If you then get 3K'd, well, it doesn't matter, you lost the set anyway. So the fact that Claudette is all the way there on the top side is not understandable for me. It's all or nothing. Either you take the risk here and go for the pallet stun, and if that doesn't work, then you lost the set anyway. So Claudette should be down here next to the shack, and she should make sure that she can provide some pressure, and this is happening now. She rotated all the way down from the exit gate on the top left to top right towards the shack pallet, but she has been found. Nice move though, heroic try from our survivors, and now I think we are afraid of a potential power struggle. We're trying to make sure that this is not going to happen. We're grabbing the survivor that we need, and that will be yet another win for team. It's for Chimera. It will be a win for Chimera. 2-1 coming out. Absolutely deserved. A little bit more hectic than we were expecting. Valentines was super close to taking the third set in a row, but Chimera slowly starting to make a comeback here.
It was very intense, very, very intense. I personally really love that, and I just had a thought. Imagine if the Bubble would have picked up the wrong survivor. Oh, actually, I'm just in my own world right now. I don't know, creating pictures of how survivors could win this set. It was very tense. I really loved what Kobe was doing on the survivor side. Demon X was absolutely amazing. How he was trying, how he was doing everything he can in these especially hard conditions, but they made it. Chimera finally came back. They took a set point. Now let's hope that on the next set, which will be Freddy, they will not disappoint us.
And the Freddy will be such an interesting character. He's usually not that often played in the competitive stage, especially not in DBDL. It has been more than 2.5 years since we've seen a Freddy last time in the comp environment. Season 7, I believe we had some Freddy matches. We are hopping on a short break, everyone, while we are setting up the 4th set of the evening, and we will see you in just a moment. Stay tuned.
And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, on another beautiful map that we usually do not see, with the killer that we usually do not see. This is Freddy on Campus. Finally, we're having some games like this. I'm very happy that K-Treat was who brought up an idea of low-tier community night. It was a very nice idea. It was a very nice hit right here. What can you tell about the Freddy? I'm not sure if I touched Freddy before when I was explaining the balancing, so let's touch it here again one more time. We are on the Father Campbell's Chapel, and we're playing on tier 4. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're using general balance plus tier 4 balancing, and the only band add-on that we have is a black box. Alright, so also we had a question really quick in the chat. In what week and day are Ariandel and Eternal versus each other? It was week 6. It was Sunday, 7:30 p.m. CET time. Again, it was Sunday, week 6, 7:30 p.m. So direct. How do you like the? Whoa! How do you like the Freddy game so far? And what do you think about it?
It's a lot of risk being taken here by our survivor, but Kobe is luckily not getting hit and striked by the dedicated servers yet. We are going to see a little bit of a knockdown of the loop here, and that's going to be a wonderful dream snare, slowing down Kobe just enough to give him the down. Claudette will not make that. Hook is coming in too late. We are going to see one generator being completed on the circus side. That's always important because the circus side can spawn some very heavy 3-gen setups, and another generator will be coming out from Ace. This is telling us that Claudette was working on the bottom side on one generator individually, so another generator is on 50%. So the survivor team of Valentines not wasting any time here, making sure that they are getting as much progress as possible into these generators. There's the second one already. No one moving in for the unhook just yet, which is understandable. You can have Kobe for 20-25 additional seconds onto the hook and then rotate in, take the hook and move away. And that's already going to happen right here. Ace Scroller is now going to take the injury, and that's important though. Freddy not even getting a trade here, so we need to find the next hook stage ourselves. Kobe will obviously be the target. You would like to tunnel out one survivor as quick as you can, moving a little bit back and forth here, trying to reach that, getting the pallet out of Kobe. Kobe is doing a fantastic job here in the early game though. He's winning a lot of time for his team.
That's right. And also the important moment, Freddy is still an M1 killer, and a part of his TP M2, his TP ability, he cannot really do any quick chases. So from Freddy, we cannot really expect any... I'm not even sure if it's right to say that we cannot expect the death or any kills. But I still think that it also depends on the mistakes that our survivor team is doing, making. Also, we have an add-on, the purple add-on, thanks to the call in the background. He is giving us some hints. The purple add-on makes all gens see the blood when you TP, and you cannot cancel the teleport anymore. That means that killer has to be very careful with where he wants to TP, where he's putting his mouse, etc. And I also think that Freddy games are not so exciting, even though Freddy sometimes can be pretty strong if we talk about public games, right? But in competitive environment, that's why Freddy is not so popular, and that's why he's never in the pool, because he's just, unfortunately, too weak to play against good communicating teams.
And Ace is going to take the punishment for protecting the team member here. Kobe still on a run. One hook stage so far. This is a nightmare for the killer right now. Running here after one survivor over and over. And it's not coming to an end just yet. We are trying to make sure that we are getting the next down, but it's not going to happen just yet. Freddy McFredison, please go for the down. We wish it to you, but it's not going to happen yet. Kobe still on a run. Another circle being made. Another generator coming out as well. The survivor team unstoppable. We might even see Scroller returning as he just got a heal. There is Claudette that was just resetting together with Scroller, so they are protecting. This is a perfect chemistry on the side of Valentines, and this is what I was talking about in the campfire chat at the beginning, what I'm expecting this evening. You can completely... Okay, cast is cursed. But you can completely destroy an M1 killer if you are playing well and you are not making a mistake. The killers are too weak, and if you are playing it right, they don't have a chance. It's not even that this Freddy made a mistake or is playing bad. He just can't do it differently. It's impossible.
Yeah. Unfortunately it is, and unfortunately it's always very sad to see killers like Trapper and Freddy being 4-outed. But that's what we're dealing with, that's what our favorite DBD is, and even though it's so frustrating to see all the time, we still love this game, we still adore this game, we still watch streams about this game, we still play it every day. So I guess there's not much that we can do about that. Oni Shrek right here. 2 stages. Tunneled out Survivor was, I think, just unhooked in front of Oni Shrek's face. So now it is a clear tunnel out. Survivors will try their best to save Renata. They say Renata as well as they can. And I think they have a very good chance of doing so, since Freddy is still an M1 killer. At the same time, we cannot overcommit to chases, otherwise we're throwing away all of the gens that we have. We unfortunately do not have a very comfortable 3 gen. We still have, as in competitive environment, you call it, the callouts. We have gen on 8, we have gen on 6, and we have gen on what it is. It is 3, yeah? On 3, on 6, and somewhat 8. So this is not a real 3 gen, and this is not something that you can protect as Freddy against 4-man. As a 3-man, maybe they could try, but as a 4-man, it will be a challenge. What do you think, though, Wolf? What are your thoughts on all of this?
My thoughts on all of this is that Freddy made a pretty impressive comeback, not going for the full... like, we're not having all generators done yet, we are not in the end game. We had a lot of injuries that we need to take care of at the moment, so he's slowly making a comeback into the trial, which is impressive since you have a very efficient, well-organized, great survivor team. So we really like to see that, and I can only hope that Oni Shrek is going to take a few additional hook stages before eventually being pushed into the end game. I don't think he can stop generator number 5. For that, the gens are split too much, and we have 3 healthy survivors at the moment, so I don't think anything in terms of going for a 4K is realistic here, but taking a few additional stages, and if it's only the trade with this Claudette, is already great.
That's right. Also, we have a few comments on our map pick from our Twitch viewers. And isn't this a bad map for Freddy? Actually, Father's Campbell is a classic map for Freddy. It was always played. When we asked for laser suggestions, he said that would be the best option for community nights to bring Father Campbell's back in. So the map is classic. The map is not contributing into the on the survivor side more than the killer himself. The map is still fine, guys. At least what World Committee team is saying us, and we tend to believe our World Committee team because they provide an amazing balance for all of our events. Here it was a 99 gen, and unfortunately it got a... what can I say? It was very close, and it's very good that Oni Shrek found Claudette on that really in that second. Okay, I finally formed my thought.
And now, though, we are on a very interesting turning point potentially here, because we have our second survivor on the second hook stage. So either Scroller or Kobe will be eliminated either in 40 seconds or with the next hook stage coming in, which is pretty impressive. And Valentines is now tremendously slowed down here by the Freddy doing a good job. I think Oni Shrek got a little bit stuck there on the tile, not able to fully follow the Claudette and take the down. Hook is therefore able to move him back into the main building, but the Bamboozle giving us a little bit of a quicker vault, though we are going to have at least this pallet back into the window. Mind games would be needed, and Hook is going to stay confident here. Will he make it around into this window? I don't think he does. It's also still bamboozled, so we are going to see the next down. Third survivor on the second hook stage. They do get the 5th generator, but how Oni Shrek was dealing with this survivor team being so dominant at the beginning, and how he's making the weak Freddy shine and collecting 6 hook stages only through the normal game is impressive. And if we now can use the No One Escapes Death to find the Dwight who's right here to add 3 stages all the way into 9, that would be amazing.
That
Only
would
it's
be,
not
I
right.
mean, it is not.
All the hype for nothing.
Well, I mean, it's still somewhat fair what you said. The gates are already open. We still have no it in. Dawn! Why are they doing this to you? This is so sad to watch, and oh my god. Okay.
Balance.
Is it balanced? It is not balanced, and we are sacrificing Stroller, but Stroller was already on the second hook, so he's the one who has to be Okay, I actually thought that would be a flashlight save. I was a little bit cooked for a second. Also, someone mentioned in the chat that for Freddy, every map is bad. It was so funny and so sad at the same time. No! Stop. Wait. Oh, what am I watching? Guys, low tier killer community night, scrim night, call it whatever you want to, is so intense and I love it. The emotions here are much higher and much more brighter than a normal season, the normal killer picks that we usually have. I love it, I adore it, and I hope you love it too.
Yeah, what do we expect for the upcoming trial though? Because this was a pretty good Freddy trial. Only Shrek was doing amazing.
Yeah. It's nice that we both stopped talking.
I'm just reminding a player of our conduct real quick. It's fine.
Oh, that is very, very important to say. Ladies and gentlemen, we love our code of conduct. We're sticking to it and we're living it through. You can wake us up. Yeah, like that. You can wake us up at 3 in the morning and you can ask us anything from our code of conduct and we will be able to tell you what is right and what is wrong and what's allowed and what's not. That was a joke, please don't ask.
But... You can ask me though. I know the rule set by heart.
Okay, I know that you might actually know that, so I will not even...
I know it, I wrote it.
I will not even tell that. You can ask me about letter moderation because I wrote that one.
Yeah, that's
but,
fair.
Okay. Let's stop. Let's stop measuring our... How do you even call this? Measuring our what? Input into the community. That's how we call it. That's how everyone would call it. Spam ringing at 3 a.m. and coming. I will not give you my phone number. Everyone already know that Turkey called me. Like 2 hours ago, Turkey actually called me. I don't know who it was, and I don't know how they got my number, but it was pretty scary. Where is your motivation? Right. Viral, where is your motivation? Like,
My motivation has been drained by the papers I had to read today. I'm flaming my students way too much on stream. Some of them did well.
Stop! Imagine if someone is following you and you're just trash talking.
Well, they will hear tomorrow. I prepared a PowerPoint page showing them how their marking average is not increasing even though we are already in this course for a year. And I'm going to tell them tomorrow that I'm very disappointed in them because they picked German as their Abitur, as their degree, and we are a Leistungsfach. How do I explain for the international people? No, let me kick. Like basically in Germany, how it works is you're picking 5 subjects as your degree subjects that are counting more, and 3 of these subjects are 5 hours a week and count the most. And with these students, I work 5 lessons a week on German, and we just finished year 11 now. And we are some are still on the point where they started the 11. And I'm trying to tell them that there is a high correlation between writing voluntarily an essay, sending it to me, and getting feedback, and not doing that. But they don't want to believe me yet. In which Bundesland? In the land, Baden-Württemberg. The one and only.
Net here.
Nicht hier, aber waren Sie schon mal in Baden-Württemberg? Do you know this advertisement, guys? There are yellows. So for everyone, maybe in the international community, our county, Baden-Württemberg, was making an advertisement that says "nice here." But have you been in Baden-Württemberg? And it started to become an absolute insane dynamic of people taking these stickers in Italy, in a shack, in Marseille. I was with my class on a trip in Marseille this year. In Marseille, we found it at a church. We found it next to the train station. Like, it became an absolute dynamic. In other countries are even molding it Baden-Württemberg because these stickers going everywhere. Someone said, I don't like the German school system. There is definitely something that you can criticize in terms of performance pressure and other stuff. I have to agree. Yeah, I'm not 100% against it, but in some crucial points I can definitely see your critique. The critique can also be expressed towards a survivor team when they are getting 4K'd against the Freddy. This was by far the worst moderation into a game that I have ever done, but bear with me. Dark Renox is going to be the first survivor in chase. Veryperson, Onryo, and Alex are going to be the other survivors. We're moving around the pallet right here, and it's so exciting. We have already 2 pools down on the floor here. Is it going to be White with a success right there? Third pool coming out the pallet, not being dropped. Now it's going to be the time for that. Is he going to take the ball? The answer is no, but we're moving one more time, and this time it will be the injury eventually. No fake coming out. Oh!
Okay, that was actually phenomenal. I could hear what you were saying, and you were not mumbling at all. It was so great. Okay, I give you a credit for that. That was
exhausted
amazing.
now.
Okay, you will not cast until the end of the fight. You reminded me of another caster really quickly that I was calling a rap god. Now I'll be calling you a rap god. Okay, so here we are at the shack. You're welcome. I will not call you that god. Here we are at the shack, using our little bit useless M2. I feel so nice. Okay, wait. This is not now funny. Do you remember how Kobe was making another Baba whip every time? Now this is what Kobe taking. Now he is whipping here with Brady. I didn't. Okay. The Rollock knows what he has to show me. We can just, okay, no casting, just stay on this screen. We will be watching you Sable's skin. That's right. Only strike pose for us. Okay, here we are on Father's Campus using Floppy, Corrupt, Noid, and Pain Rest. I think another Freddy had the same build, right? So the build is pretty based. We're applying Floppy Butcher to have a little bit more pressure, since the pressure on Freddy is something that you want to have, especially when the gen progression is going so fast. We're again abusing the shack, even without the shack pallet, and this little wall coming in. This is so unlucky. So unlucky. The survivor had to fast wall there to not get hit, and unfortunately they didn't do that. They were not able to do it. Here we're seeing 2 survivors doubling the circus gen, even though we have 3 gen. Where at around the shack we have 3 gen, right? Am I tripping? No, I'm not. We have a little bit of a 3 gen at around shack, and I think this is what our survivors will take as a goal for the next generator after the circus is popping up. Here we see Veryperson Ada running in the jungle gym and getting a little bit baited, And Direwolf, please take over my delivery game.
Okay, delivery it has the priority here. Maybe we can deliver a few additional hook stages. Another bad connection between topics. But hey, we are improving a little bit. Dark Renox is running out of time though. 15 seconds until the elimination would come through. Freddy even taking the teleport to make it back towards the shack as quick as he can. Trying to check, and they are not going for the unhook. I doubt that the survivor nearby will be able to go for that. Dark Renox is dying on hook, and 2 survivors are currently not working on the generators, meaning that we are now in a 3v1 scenario much earlier than we have been in the previous trial. And very person, our injured survivor, is now also going into the next chase. We can only hope that it will be a longer one, because right now the survivor team really needs some time. They need to increase the pressure again on these objectives here. It does seem like a good job. You have a pretty strong loop here with this window available. Kobe definitely with they try to go for a quick down, but a little bit too optimistic on these swings. It's not going to happen just yet, and therefore we see the decision by Kobe to go back towards the generators, checking on them. Understandable though. He notices that the percentages are getting in, not seeing Alex there for a second, but then unfortunate for Tab, he is still being found. Back onto the shack here, a valuable resource against the Freddy. Even though the pallet has been already sacrificed, you can still always return to this structure. Unfortunate that Alex will not be able to make it into the down. We see a reset in the distance. Understandable decision, but we still have a generator to go. We had 7 stages in the previous trial. Alex trying to move forward, but with the 3v1 here, we are definitely looking good on achieving that. Hook stage coming through. Alex now 2 minutes of hang time, 4 stages overall. Let's have a quick check if Savannah is back.
Yes, I am.
Ah, welcome.
And another way. Thank you so much for welcoming me in. But there is still nothing exciting going on in this unit. Okay, I'm joking. Our survivors are doing everything they can. No! Ready? Stop swinging into the air. We're not playing Minecraft here. So we have 3 survivors left on the map. We have 1 gen that has to be done. The question is, will our survivors be able to do that? And it is a very good question, since, as Dyer would say again, when it's 3 survivors on the map, the gen efficiency is increasingly dropping. Okay, enough. Oh, that doesn't look good. I'm on a second I was disrupted with the Twitch chat, and this here doesn't look good, Direwolf. We have the last survivor standing, Oni Shrek, and he has been already found. So this is our final. This is our.
What?
Okay, that was actually not the bad one. That was a good one. Okay. It is the last survivor standing, and they are being chased. That means that everything would depend on Oni Shrek right here, but unfortunately they did not make that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are having 4K1. That means that Kobe won for the team Valentines. Freddy. We are here to celebrate 3-1. That means that the team Valentines has already met all the conditions for the win in this Scrim Night. Very well played. Very good games, very entertaining. Yet, guys, do not go anywhere. We will still play out the peak set. We will still show you how it's done on Midwich. The peak set will actually be pretty interesting. If I may touch the balance of peak again.
No.
If you let me. Okay, then not. Was that a joke?
No.
Okay. And I'm not touching it.
You can grab it.
Okay, thank you. I just really wanted to share that. It's very important.
Roma, thank you for the sub! Okay, touch it.
So, Pig.
No.
Pig...
Yeah, go.
So, Pig has kind of RNG with traps. And Pig on Midwich with everything allowed is really strong on strict balance, while if we ban, for example, the add-on combo of everyone starts with trap and can see the box, still it's active, Pig becomes pretty weak. But Pig with the add-on combo banned is an option if we don't want to see some pretty weak games, right? That's why we decided that we're going to play out our Pig on Midwich, but with a tier 5 balancing. Since we banned videotape and Eerie add-on and rule set number 2, the green add-on. It will be pretty interesting to see, because we basically didn't nerf the Pig into the ground on Midwich. Pig is pretty strong, as you all know. If you see the aura and if all survivors are from the beginning of the set with the traps on, then it's pretty difficult for survivors to get out. Here we banned 2 strongest combo add-ons, and we hope that the set will still be somewhat interesting and not a real snooze fest. Yes, general balance, tier 5, Midwich, Pig, Direwolf. Go ahead.
Do you guys know about wizards, orcs, and magical creatures? Some of them are really skilled. Some of them are okay. That makes them a mid-witch. Sorry. I'm so proud of this one. I'm so proud on this one. I can't. I know it's completely cringe to laugh about your own joke. But this is also what I'm used to in the class. There's always me laughing about my joke, and this one student that wants the best mark. That's it.
You know, I just don't want to talk to you, honestly.
Someone save me.
This is what's happening when the Rollick is not taking us into the break. That's what's happening when the Rollick is not doing that.
Where are my meds? Oh God!
What did you even say? I was away.
What? You didn't hear it? I cannot drop it again.
But I was away. I didn't hear.
I'll tell it to you tomorrow.
All right.
Or later.
All
but
right.
I cannot tell it now. That would ruin.
It wouldn't ruin me.
It will.
All right. I'll quickly grab my delivery food.
There's a chance you're leaving me after hearing this.
Okay, Verby.
Okay, so yeah, goodbye. We are moving into the Midwich set, the final one of the evening, the Pig. What's important to touch on is that we are obviously playing a very RNG dependent set. We are aware of that. That's why we are putting it into a scrim night. Yeah, BRB, she's buying cigarettes and then never returning. So yeah, what's important to mention is it's heavily RNG dependent. And that's why we are putting it into a scrim night. I doubt that the Pig will ever be in a normal tournament environment. I would really doubt that. It's same with Vecna. Vecna is a killer that we can, at the moment, not see so much in the competitive environment. We are loading in though. Kobe is going to play the pig. We will see what he has prepared for us. Which team won? So far, it has been 3 times Valentines. They also took the Freddy set and 1 time Chimera on the Baba. Yeah, Wegner has the pure showcase of skill. I just like the knight putting down a guard and then watching the AI helping you. I dislike knight players. I'm sorry.
Dwights are walking to a bar after a long
Knights.
chase.
Dwights.
Dwights.
Okay, read it out.
Dwights all walk into a bar after a long chase. The bartender, seeing how beat up they are, asks, "Are you for old Dwight?"
We should print that in a magazine. Okay, Dark Renox, Alex, Oni Shrek, and Very Person. Also, do you know how it's called if one survivor is constantly being pulled towards you? I call that magnetism. So, Kobe on the trail of the first 2 survivors here. I think that was Alex or Dark Renox. It is actually Dark Renox going to take the first injury right here, going towards that window. And having a first injury like that against the purely M1 killer is very difficult, so we can only hope that Dark Renox is going for a longer run now, though with the ambush of the pig, this might be a difficult pallet to play on.
I think so too. Pig on mid, which can also end up pretty bad.
I think we have to take over. I heard Mika barking in the background, so someone is at the door. Dark Renox with the first hook stage right here. 40% on this first generator. Alex, Oni Shrek, and Very Person, the healthy survivors. Alex is waiting here under the drop down, not working on a gen yet. 80% on this first generator. So we get a good trade. First hook stage, first generator. This is something that always feels good on the survivor side. Perhaps you wanted a little bit longer the chase at the beginning, but it's still going to be okay. After we were saving Dark Renox, we can make sure that we are having a longer chase afterwards, and then the mid game can make the survivor team really shine. Ada was trying to move in and going for the rescue. Kobe was catching that though, is forcing the Ada to make a return. She's coming in now though. The pig realizes that, is going to try and block here for a little bit, which is fine since we have multiple entrances into the hook, and that was actually well done by the killer here. Getting the injury, Dark Renox still on the hook, and Sloppy Butcher is also going to take a little bit of becoming a little bit of a problem here for the survivor team. I know that Mathis was just waiting for me saying Butcher, same as the entire YouTube community, but I will do that forever. Minecraft gambling here, +5 IKEA furniture awarded to the pig right there, but unfortunately going down onto Very Person. Dark Renox now off the hook. Kobe might try to just follow this survivor and get him out of the game as quick as possible. Quick check if Savannah is back. Not happening. Okay. And no, it's not cannibalism. It's Mettbrötchen. We are going to see Oni Shrek on this pallet next to a 20-30% generator. They seem to go for a reset with the other 2 survivors. Surprisingly, it is a very slow game on the generators at the moment from the survivor team. You would be expecting that an M1 killer is struggling much more, but Kobe is doing a really good job in having 1 survivor close to the elimination. You're doing a good job here with having 2 injuries. One of them is being healed now, but Kobe is providing tasks to the survivor team, and tasks mean, there's the injury back onto Dark Ranox, mean that the survivor team cannot pressure the generators too intensely, and you can take a little bit of regression. Nice positioning in the pallet here, going for the ambush, and it's going to be down right here with an eruption proc in the distance. Dark Ranox is going to be eliminated at 3 gens standing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Flick Pig being an absolute danger here on the Midwich Elementary School. Good work so far from Kobe. Survivor team even having 1 injured survivor still in their team, and that's what Kobe is going to try and profit on. Well done here so far. If this survivor is going down, and that's going to happen almost immediately as well, we are putting so much struggle onto the survivor team. Such a good pressure that is being awarded here. Okay, Savannah is still fighting with her dog, it seems like. I mean, since it's warm there, it's a hot dog at the moment. 50% on the entrance here. Nice waiting there to make sure that we are not going to scream and take an extra penalty. But Alex and Very Person need to make sure now that this is going to be somewhat balanced out. We need a longer chase and kind of get 1 minute, 1.5 minutes from the killer. Or alternatively, just sacrifice this survivor and smash through the generators. But if there's not something drastically changing here in this trial, we will actually face very likely the 4K with the pick here. Kobe, though, we can see we have an elimination already. We are in danger. We have 3 gens standing. We've seen the flick pick. You missed everything.
Oh no. I'm so sorry, guys. I got caught up with my mother. She wanted to ask me for help, but I couldn't say no. So I had to be here for like 2 minutes, and now everything is exploding in this game. I can see that we have one.
This is the second trial of the pick set. We already switched sides.
But it's Kobe on the survivor. Oh no, on the killer.
Damn. Stop it!
Okay, there, we'll calm down. I can see that we already have an eliminated survivor. I can see that Alex here is again cooking. Yeah, please tell me what's going on. I do not understand anything. How are the teams doing?
Survivor team is doing really, like, there's a lot of struggles, so to put you in play, to put you in place, to put you in, not
Yeah,
to put you in place.
Put me in place, please. Put me in place.
Vocabulary, goodbye. We had the first elimination surprisingly early. We had 4 generators standing. Survivor efficiency looked a little bit chaotic. They have taken a lot of injuries as well. First down came in, I believe, 30 seconds into the trial. Since they are in the 3v1, generator pressure is almost 0. Alex is now the first one who can provide 2 minutes of hang time again. Only Shrek was already on the hook. But you can see here, Ada is close by, not working on a gen. It's rough. They are taking a little bit too much risk, and they got really punished for it.
Someone just said, not Savannah making up a family emergency to get away from dire spawns for a pig. Imagine guys when you live in one apartment with this person. Sometimes I'm just coming into the room and he's dropping 1 or 2 jokes, something like that, and I'm just turning away and leaving. And just, okay, that's not for me today. So, this gen right here is already, I think it's 4th as an animation, right? I think it's a 4th or even the 5th time this pig is kicking this generator. So I would say that survivors might want to reset since pressure like this is coming around, but they do not have any opportunities for resetting. The pig is just finding and eliminating, finding, punishing, eliminating our survivors. The gen here that was regressed already, I assume, at around 5 or 6 times, now is getting erupted and a pain resin on top. So let's just hope that our survivors can make something out of this. Oni Shrek is now being in chase, taking the fast wall, but it will not save him from taking a hit here. Unfortunate hit. They decide to not drop the safe pallet. Okay, thank you, Oni Shrek. They do decide to drop the God pallet, but a little bit after waiting out for a second to make the pig believe, they just skipped and pressed W. Here we're interrupting the reset one more time. Very person is trying to take a hit for Alex, which is a good thing to do, I think, because getting another survivor eliminated from the game that early into the set is not something we want to do. It's something we want to prevent. Here we are in a musical room, a room that has to be played very safely, because if they drop a pallet in the an unfortunate side or on the wrong side, they can be zoned out. Here we are with Ada, very person. Kobe is showing a little bit of a oink oink, I caught you. One more gen.
Now...
This gen. Oh, sorry. Yes, go ahead. I'm again into
just...
my monologuing.
I was just about to say, the question that we are asking now on the survivor side is how many additional generators can we actually get? I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but I think escapes are off the table here. 3 generators is just too much. Sable being a little bit unaware where Kobe exactly is running almost into the killer here. The downs are happening too fast. Even if Sable is taking 1 or 2 additional turns here, we are always talking about a chase time of an average 20 to 30 seconds. It's not enough to keep the pig busy, and it's certainly not enough to make a comeback. Good job there on the 3rd generator. You would hope that a 4th generator is coming out, because you can always somehow try to go for a 3 gen later on. So getting the 4th generator out of the way, and then your killer is playing around the 3 gen, potentially taking the tie there in the final set, is a possibility. But we can now also see how they are actually going for the slug, even because they feel so confident on the killer side that they say, well, potentially I can end it right here, right now. Nice mind game there, Alex. Too greedy, just drop the pallet and hold W. In this way you would make more distance and stay alive a little bit longer. Reset coming in again, though I'm afraid that such decisions like resets and readjustment are coming out a little bit late.
That's right, and now we have a 2nd survivor eliminated, which is also always very bad. And here Kobe again finding our reset place. It's very unfortunate that survivors decided to do a reset in the middle of the corridor. That was maybe not. That was maybe not the best thing to do. Ada is here being pulled out of the locker and slugged. So now. Oh, all right. Yeah, right. Slugged. So now the only thing we need to do is to find Oni Shrek. Oni Shrek has a trap on the head and 2 gens done. So the best thing that they can do is to sit somewhere, hide from Kobe, and try to pick up their person at the moment where Kobe is not so close to them, so then they can perhaps reset and try to make another gen. I'm not sure if it's possible. It sounds like dreams, honestly. I think we know where he is. Right. So unfortunately for Oni Shrek, Kobe has headphones and he heard him right from the locker. Here we are, dudes and the dudesas. 4K2 on the midwich as a pig in comp DBD. What do you say? Is it a good result? Is it a bad result? I'm not sure. I think it's a strong result by Kobe.
Absolutely.
And absolutely strong. And I think that our survivor team maybe could have done a little bit better on the communication, but still, it's a pig on Midwich. It always can snowball, right? The same way as Legion can snowball, or any other games where survivors are unfortunately making mistakes.
Yeah, to defend them a little bit, I mean, Pig is something that we never see in the comp environment because of the RNG factor, and Pig will never make it into the tournament, into any serious tournament. Pig can never be played because of the RNG factor until the devs would find an add-on or anything that is removing the RNG from the Pig. So you're playing against a killer with the ambushes that you never scrim against. You're playing against a new task, like you need to coordinate, when do I take my party hat off? If my party hat is already active, how am I dealing with that? How do I position myself? So there are a lot of things that are connected to Pig that these teams just never practice. So basically they are being put on the spot, and it's being told, like, we are giving you this killer today. We know you never practice it. Now show us what you got. So a little bit in the defense of the survivor team there. We'll take one final break before we're going in the last trial of today. It will be the Pig on the Midwich Elementary School, and we'll see you right after a short intermission.
Bye-bye! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for waiting. We are here, we're back with our last trial of this community night today. Oni Shrek on the killer, so Chimera on the killer, the Valentines on the survivor side, and we are ready to play some mind games, some games, and I honestly want to admit that this community night here will give me a lot of material for my next community night video. And I don't even care if it will only consist from Chimera and Valentines playing against each other. I don't care. I have my material, you have your videos, we're all happy. Here we can see that Ace is on the generator, 30% here, 40% there, and maybe we even have the third. Or maybe not. So we're here with a Claudette in the chase, and I'm not sure if Claudette was on the hook before, on the gen before. So maybe we only have two gens that are being progressed at the moment, which is pretty, well, not something that you expect from survivors when they are versing the Pig. Only Shrek here decides to a little bit, to proxy camp a little bit, and it's understandable since they're trying to protect their win condition. A little bit of a trap on the head of Torso Man, and the most logical decision here would be to try to tunnel out Kobe, since we do not have anything like off the records, nothing like for the people, decisive strike on tier 5. All of this is banned, strictly forbidden. So it is an easy tunnel out. Here we can see that there is no... Oh, what? Nah. Kobe is playing, I'm telling you, Kobe is not playing on 20 ms. Kobe is a server of Dead by Daylight. He's playing in Behavior Office today because he is never getting hit through. I don't know how, either lucky or the internet is so great, but holy moly, I would like to experience something like that at least once in my life, because I'm always hit through the pallets, the windows, it doesn't matter. I'm always getting those hits. So, here we are, 4 deaths left, 1 survivor hooked, 1 injured, 1 with a trap active. And we still have our ruin in progress, it's still active. The resources are going down. How is this looking, Darwin?
This is looking pretty okay here for the team. Someone is asking if the scoreboard is glitching. Our technical administrator is working on the scoreboard at the same time at the moment to prepare for the weekend. And the best of 5 design, it will have a new artwork, it will have new stuff up there, and I think he's not aware that we are still live. That's why he already got the hands on the scoreboard. Kobe taking the second hook stage, and we are going to see hopefully an elimination soon for the pig that would somewhat put up a comparable condition with the other trial that we have just witnessed. Pentimento being up now, heavy penalty coming on to the generators. Also very good that you have the Pentimento right next to this survivor. Basically you can get a camp onto this survivor while knowing that everyone is on a huge delay on the generators, and that is a pretty luxury position to be in.
That's right. And the first elimination on the survivor, that's something that we want to say, especially in a pig set. Since pig is not the strongest survivor here, we're doing a little bit of a crouch check to see the aura of the survivor that is sitting next to us, right behind the wall. So here we are. Hello, Torso Man. It will be not a hit on Torso Man because we are not giving him a speed boost towards the hook. We rather take our trade here. Another nice trap on the head of a survivor, and of course Kobe is going to get tunneled. 2 gens left, 4 survivors are still in. We need elimination, and we need it right now, desperately. I hope our pig will be able to find Kobe. He has Iron Will, he has Head-On, and Quick and Quiet. Do you think we will see some spicy Head-On in game? I hope we will.
Hopefully.
It will be very interesting to see. Right here we see another survivor. Yeah. Oh my god. Here we see another survivor. Clouded is trying to take a hit and doing it successfully. Everything to prevent Kobe of getting down, getting eliminated, being dead, which would be pretty depressing. But I guess here we are. Clouded went on the left side, and Kobe decided to run a little bit further, so there is no back, no save is going into the play, and unfortunately Kobe is getting sacrificed right here. We have 3 survivors left. Our Torso Man has a trap activated on his head, which is something that will take him a bit of time to get rid of. And here we are finding Torso Man and doing his mask, not even noticing. Only Shrek crouching and stealthing towards him to punch his back from behind. That is a very big move to come from behind, but that's why pig sets are so interesting, and with which you can never expect what's coming next. As well as with Onryo, for example, you can never expect what's happening, where they are, or the Ghostface sets. That's why I love Ghostface so much, but maybe it's just my Russian nature. All Russians love Ghostface sets, but it's always so unexpected, and it's so, you know, you need to think and you need to make a strategy to play on Pig and on Ghostface. And I think it's amazing. So, okay, I'm talking too much again. Here the Clouded is being downed. Torso Man is still on the hook, and the Scroller is the only standing survivor here. If they find Scroller right now, then I believe it will be the tie.
And I woke up. Scroller is the action ace, trying to get all the tasks done that are on the to-do list here. Torso Man needs to be unhooked. Hook needs to be picked up, and we do have our reading add-on. That's going to tell us that we are right about... This is so interesting. Savannah.
Yeah.
Savannah, this is something. Maybe he can even hear the Amanda breathing, and he's like, where am I actually supposed to go? But
Okay, we're getting the pick up. We're getting it down again. Are they making it down to the torso man? Wait, if it's a tie, we're playing it, right? Oh no, we have. Wait,
No,
what's the
it's Scrim
score?
Night.
2-1.
3-1.
Why are you lemon? Why are you? Oh right, Valentines already took the after. Wait. Yeah, I think it is pretty over for our Valentine's team, and it's very nice because the teams are again somewhat. Okay, that was a very nice quoting. Teams are somewhat the same. Wait, I was just. Shut up. I was just watching the chase and I got so much. I'm so not used to casting. Last time I was casting was October 2023. It's been 8 months since I last casted, and I'm still not used to it, and I still need to improve a lot. And I'm not sure if you ever will hear me again. Probably you will, but I just don't know where, when, and why, and how. But yeah, here we're taking the tie. It's 4K2. What a play! What a survivor team! What is this killer performance? I liked it a lot. I think the sets were very nice, and I think we should one more time repeat low killer Scrim Night somehow later, maybe this month, maybe next month. But I think we can figure that out. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on what community night type you would like to see, then please share with us. You're welcome.
I have
Go,
one.
go. No one asked you.
Okay, I will share it anyway. I would like to have an Evan Scrim Night where we test him on different maps. With different balance, maybe even.
What is the different balance?
For example, one set naked, no perks on the survivors at all, nothing.
Okay.
And not on the trapper. Second set, naked survivors, perks for the trapper. Third set, normal tier 5 balancing. Then maybe fourth set on a different map.
Okay.
One set traps only.
Okay.
Traps only. That is my dream now. Traps only, Evan.
But it will be so. Wait. Okay.
What
If
we should
that.
also... Wait.
If you want to bring. Okay, go ahead.
Otherwise I forget it. You know, I'm sometimes losing my thought.
Yeah,
there was something we tried. Yeah, there was something. What? There was something that we tried a long time ago. It was for Scrim Nights. It was not Scrim Night, but it was a little bit of a chill stream. It's 2.5 years ago already. We tried to cook some rules that you usually don't have in a real tournament to make the games a little bit more fun. And one rule we had there, just let me know in an honest way what you think about it, chat and Savannah. Maybe we can bring this back. So for example, one rule for, like, we played a normal best of 5, but with pig ban killers. But the special rule was that the killer always had to bring haunted ground. Why are they reading up? Anyway, the killer always had to bring haunted ground, and the survivor team had the special rule that they had to cleanse haunted ground before getting the 5th generator done. And you could pick if you're doing haunted ground at the beginning and then you are trying to stealth, or you're trying to find a good moment during the trial, but before being allowed to push it into the end game, you had to proc the haunted ground. Mm-hmm. That was one trial, basically. One rule for one weekend. A second one was, we had the pick and ban killers, normal best of 5, and when you used a killer perk, you could not use it anymore throughout the best of 5. So if you say, I'm using my Ruin on the Freddy tonight, you cannot bring the Ruin anymore on Onryo, on Trapper, so you have to gamble, or not gamble, but you have to decide, where do I want to use my perks? This was the second rule we had. The third one was, we are RNGing the builds. The survivor teams both get 16 perks by RNG. and they can puzzle them together in perks build they want to. But we were basically deciding what 16 perks they can go for. Something like this, like adding one unusual rule that you don't see on the weekend in the tournaments, but that you see in the scrim night. What do you think, Savannah? What do you think, chat?
I like the idea. I also like the idea. Do you remember you told me about the 100 ground one? I think we need to think it through a little bit more. I have a bit of doubts about some moments of that, but overall it sounds very nice. Tournament, the 4v1 tournament, AK 1v1. I don't know how to call it, but basically we have 4 survivors playing against the killer, and they can only use. They are okay. Let's start from the beginning. We have 4 survivors. 3 of them are staying in the basement, and 1 is 1v1ing on the map. For example, Dead Dog Saloon, right? Then when the first survivor has been downed, you're going to the first survivor is out of the game. You're picking them up, and they go into the basement. And then, without a restart, the second survivor is coming out of the basement and also 1v1ing with the resources that are left on the map. And then, when they're down, the same is happening with the third survivor and then the fourth survivor. And at the end, we have 4 survivors, 4v1, somewhat 1v1 with a 4v1. I don't know if it makes sense. And then we compare the time that teams had, and the team who had better time is basically winning.
The OGs will remember this tournament now. The OG, where are the OGs remembering this tournament? Where are they? We hosted it one time. It was called Blood Trials? Trials of Blood? Something like this? We hosted it one time. Where are the OGs?
I do not remember that. I do not remember that.
It was before your time.
It never happened. Yeah, that means it never happened.
It's actually a long time ago. Also, Ren, the reason why DBDL is not touching 1v1 is because we feel like there are so many 1v1 streamers out there that have a lot of experience on it and that are known for being a good 1v1 channel, that we really feel like if DBDL is adding another 1v1 night, it's really just one more. Of course, we would try to make it with production and graphics and everything, but the base concept of a 1v1, we feel like you can find that on a lot of streamer channels, like normal content creators. That 1v1 isn't really interesting to us, but 4v1, like the 1v1 would definitely be something unique. And yeah, it was a long time ago when we hosted it. I think it was the first tournament we actually hosted after I took over from Will. It was the summer 2022. We just finished season 7, and then we straight went into this 1v1 tournament, and then All Hallows League. That was my first tournament.
All right. That does sound pretty interesting.
Yeah, now we need to find a good outro.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, okay, goodbye. So maybe the chat has some questions, because if you don't, then we would be done for today, and already would go to sleep. Another poem? There will be no poems.
I need to cook one first. No, I need to cook one first.
Okay.
Yesterday I was actually taking notes through the entire best of 5.